Yeah, we're
I,
live.
why is it always screaming with you, Mason, you fucking gremlin?
Hey, shut the fuck up. Nobody
No,
asked you.
fair.
Moving on.
So, I'm finally back.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome back, Mace.
Welcome back, Sil.
It's good to have you back.
So what did I miss?
Well, we saw a warrant of trade. We're in 2 more weeks of warp travel. Creepy things happen on occasion.
Fair.
Moving on. We're probably
Okay.
never going to be allowed in that space station again unless we blow the fucker up.
Or I bribe someone.
That too.
Or I arrest them all.
Which would require enough ordnance to blow the fucker up.
Can't resist arrest if you can't move your legs.
Can't resist arrest if you're dead.
Okay.
I don't like where this conversation is going.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Considering current events, let's try to keep those kind of jokes to a minimum.
Oh, right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mason.
Not to get back on track, but
On track. You all have about 2 weeks of warp travel, give or take.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you guys want to do in those 2 weeks to keep yourself busy, or am I just busting my dice out?
I'm busting my dice out.
Oh,
Seems to me the trouble anyway.
How many die of fate am I rolling?
Just roll me a D100, I guess. Also, what the fuck's with all the 10 D100s today?
Don't worry about it.
That was a D1000.
That's not what I meant to roll. Let's just round it up and make it a 43.
Just round it up.
Just round it up and get rid of the, zero place. Anyway, so what you get is you spend about 20 minutes wandering around the ship on the usual patrol beat, blissfully quiet. You don't have to stomp on one person's neck or shout at another person. It's actually really quiet. And that bugs you, because ever since the Clan of Wonders shown up, it's pretty much been non-stop. You can't walk down a hallway without bumping into some sort of confrontation.
I don't like it.
neither do I.
When did you get here?
I don't remember.
And just walks around a corner like neither do I.
So, where the fuck is all the crime?
I thought you took care of that. Or
Well, it's one of those things where normally, I try to take care of it and then more just springs up, but now it's too quiet. How do I get Sun on the horn?
just go on the comm beat and ask him, or put your helmet on and try calling for him.
Okay. Can I spawn in the helmet and try to call Sun?
It's a simple thing to do, and thankfully, since Annihilation knows you're not super good with tech, he kind of does the translations for you on getting connected to Sun.
Okay.
Now, you're no tech expert, but you're pretty sure your comms are supposed to be clearer than this, because the whole thing is undercut with a static tone, and whenever you or Sun speak, it gets broken and garbled, every couple words or so.
That's not how that normally works.
You get a broken message of acknowledgement and him receiving, and where the hell are you?
You know, that's a very good question. I don't know. Red, where are we?
DM, where are we?
On one of the many narrow passageways between the different decks of the ship. These are areas that are used to ascend up or down in case of the elevators going out. So they're tight, cramped hallways with big bulkhead doors and ladders ascending to hatches. It's all a maze from here. It's actually the one part of the ship you guys haven't fully explored, and Laura would probably have the best knowledge of it.
Yay,
I'm
spin
just gonna look around. Why are we here?
Well, I think my crime instinct said this would be the most likely area for crime, but I'm not seeing anything, which is weird. Normally, I at least see like 1 or 2 crew members, but I'm not even seeing that.
Yes, this place is very popular for crew members to just catch a break or try to hide from their overseers or whatever. It's generally untraveled except by those who know how to access it, which is more than you'd think, but less than you know. So it's pretty much your hotspot, so when you're like, I'm bored and want to do justice stuff.
But there's nobody here to, even check on. Except, Red, you're not doing crime, are you?
The only crime I'm doing is hiding.
What are you hiding from?
I usually hide. I thought you do this.
Right, but I don't often find you.
Fair.
Normally,
Hey, Conrad.
Hmm.
Not to interject or anything, but you got a message from the monocular. Sun's reports finally filtered it back up to you. And
Okay.
the monocular, cross-referencing the report, can confirm that the 2 members in question, Sill and Redden, have disappeared from the ship's sensors and optical surveillance. They're not in any
Okay.
decks or any subdecks on the ship.
But they can still be Vox.
Yes, although it's broken and garbled, like you're trying to transmit through dozens of kilometers of empty space.
Okay. Well, to ask, Sun's only using like his personal stuff, right?
No, he attempt to boost the signal with a Vox. The Vox, what the hell are they called now? Not a caster, but the big one, like the array.
So he used the ship's Vox array.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure he did all that.
Meanwhile, in said corridor, your two's conversation continues.
You know how to
Oh,
get
I
out?
will.
I've got an idea. Ship, where are we?
I will try my best to combi. Well, use the Vox array to inform them as many times as I need to repeat it until I get an acknowledgement that they are not on the ship, as far as we know.
But we were on the ship.
So you would ask that, and that's the response you get back: is you're not on the ship.
But we're on the ship.
Another response back: you're not on the ship.
So, hold on, Red. I've got an idea because this looks semi-familiar. Call old Red.
I can't do that from here.
Did you?
Have to
What?
be at the. You have to be at the.
We have to be at
Room
the
for
meeting. Yeah, we have to be at the special meeting room.
But you can. You've got that weird brain thing where you sometimes knows when you're in trouble. Just start screaming in your head or something.
That's. I'm pretty
You
Do you
sure.
want him to get a hold of Magnus?
Just get a hold of somebody who's like, look, if my theory is correct and we're not on our ship, we might be on the old ship.
Magnus!
You hear very, very faintly, huh?
Are we on the ship?
You can feel like the back of your brain scratching. And nope, Definitely not. Well, kind of? Okay, how do I explain this?
We're on a different part, like different version of the ship.
No, that part of the ship seems to have phased completely into the warp.
Oh,
I would not suggest opening any of the doors or hatches until we can get the Geller field back on in that area.
oh,
Meanwhile, Sill's plan was to go open a door.
still don't. Still, you know how we're in warp travel?
Reaching for the door now.
Still don't.
But
Still,
what if it leads back?
it does. Trust me, it does. But remember, we're in the. You know how we're traveling through the warp and there's a force field that's supposed to protect us?
Yes.
Where we're at right now is currently outside of that. So we're stuck here until we're out of the warp.
So I need to find a different door.
No. We we can still use this door. We just can't use it yet. We have to wait.
Okay, I'm gonna go find something. Anything. This place is quiet and boring.
I like it.
Why are you here?
Because it's
This is a
quiet and
crime.
boring.
This is a crime den. This is where people do the crimes.
Really?
Yeah, I catch
There's no
people
one
doing
here.
drugs. Yeah, it's because we're not on the ship right now. We're like in a space between existing and not existing, I guess.
But it's still part of the ship.
Speaking of,
Ah.
What? What?
you both can feel that the temperature's risen about, 10 degrees at this point.
Oh, that's not good.
Hey,
How do we,
Conrad. Hello?
Conrad?
Hi.
So, Magnus would inform you this time about what's happened.
So I know that it's a problem with the Geller field.
Geller generator itself is functional. The problem is it flickered for a second, and in that second flicker created a micro bubble of warp space inside the ship, localized in that area. Which means any doors they open could lead anywhere in the warp.
So how do we
You
fix
can
it?
think about that with the people who are in there.
what about this door?
Don't use the
What are
door.
you trying to say? I'm sorry.
They could just open a door right now by accident, and they could end up in Korn's realm or something.
Okay, so how do we fix it? And also, I'm going to give out the order that because if someone on our side opens the door too, the same thing can happen to them, or no? Or I guess happen to us.
It would happen in the inverse faction. You'd open the door, and the warp would come flooding out.
Okay, well, go ahead and give the general call that no one uses those doors, and also ask Magnus how the fuck do we fix this?
I'm working on something right now, but I mean, the best solution would be a drop from warp. But problem being, we're not at our destination yet.
And I don't think they're going to live for. Are we still on the first day of our new jump?
You're on day 3.
That would still be 14 days without food or water?
Yep.
So it's not an option.
Oh.
So we're going to have to wait until Magnus can figure out something. I will, just in case, I will be sure to radio to them to conserve your.
Uh,
Did I die?
Briefly.
I think all of Discord died there for a second.
Jesus
I think so.
fucking...
I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
We're all back.
Discord just died, no big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Conrad would send along a message of conserve your oxygen.
Conserve your everything.
Magnus,
Yeah.
do you think if we put the box in here, we get it, both of us go in the box, and you can pull the box out? You think that work?
You want me to use warp powers inside a room contaminated by the warp?
Oh, fair. Fair enough.
I can offer you a little aid, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I've seen this happen. It's something that I've come across a few times in my travels in the warp.
Mm-hmm.
However, the captain didn't seem to really like my idea, so plan B.
What idea was that? I didn't hear it. Oh, waiting?
No, Magnus would state to you the easiest way to solve this problem is just drop out of the warp.
Okay,
It's
so what
literally
is...
the simplest solution, but you have to spin your drives back up and waste time.
Okay.
But that would
What
be
is-
his bluntest, simplest solution. Just drop out of the
Okay.
warp.
So what was his plan B again?
His plan B would be to basically transfer the warp in that section of the ship back into the warp proper.
Uh-huh, and if he screws that up.
If he screws that up, he accidentally creates a warp that portal.
We don't need any more mysterious doors on this fucking ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna open this door.
To let you know, by the way,
Don't
when I
open the
said that
doors,
that
though.
wasn't an option, I was talking about us just letting them stay in there until we can, get off our destination and drop out then.
Annihilation?
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do to not die?
I just woke up. What's going on? We're dying?
We're stuck in the warp. Got separated
mean-
from the ship.
Well, kinda stuck in the warp.
I mean, I was thinking about opening that door, but I keep getting told not to.
Door. Man, do you want to know where that door goes to?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know the Chaos Gods, right?
Yeah.
That's the Prince of Pleasure's palace behind that door. I strongly suggest you do not open it.
So it's a bad idea to open that door and then try to punch him in the face and then try to leave.
Very bad idea. But if I use the bit of that pittance of a human soul I sucked up the other, what was that, like a month ago? I could probably bail you out of this situation.
Would it just be me or would it be both of us?
Both of you.
Oh, okay.
However, I might have to go to sleep for a little bit. I'll be stuffing myself, you see, and I'm a pretty heavy sleeper after I've eaten well.
How long is a little bit?
Oh, I don't know. Couple weeks, maybe a month.
I'll give you 3 days before I start trying to figure out how to wake you up.
Good luck. Like I said, I'm a heavy sleeper.
I'll just start eating the helmet.
Might work, might not.
Might break my tooth. So, Redden, I've got a solution, but it comes at a price.
Go on.
Annihilation can get us out of here, but he's got to take a nap after that.
How is he going to get us out?
Yeah, you know that blonde chick off the planet we just came off of?
The what?
You remember that person I, kind of ate?
Oh, yeah. Oh, her. that bitch.
We're gonna slurp up our soul, and then he's gonna, get us out of here, and then he's gonna take a nap.
But
Said it might
how?
be-
How?
It's a. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. It's either yes or no. I mean, I could just keep walking up to doors and asking Annihilation where they go, but I figure that'll get annoying for everybody.
Honestly, that's the safer option.
Annihilation, how many doors do you want to tell me where they lead before we get sick of this game?
I don't know. There's 6 here, so 1 more.
Right, and choose a door, and choose carefully, because Annihilation only wants to tell us where one more goes before he decides that we're just going to do the thing.
All right, what's the door? That's the farthest away.
That's not a door, but a hatch down to the next level. It's actually in the floor, at the far end of the hall.
Uh-huh.
Guessing we can go to the next level.
Are you gonna ask what's behind said hatch?
Does that hatch actually lead to more levels, or is that going to take us somewhere else?
Well, that hatch leads you actually back to the planet of sorcery.
Oh,
Oh, Magnus, what if we go here?
You just hear a big no.
Oh.
well. You want to do that thing now, or are we just going to keep sitting here until we get more? Captain!
What?
Annihilation says he can get us out, but he's got to take a nap for a month afterwards. Should I do
Okay.
that?
Will it damage my ship in any way?
Annihilation, we're not going to eat a hole through the ship, right?
God no. Plasteel tastes disgusting.
I mean, we ate that tank, though.
We ate the tank. We chewed the tank. There's a difference.
Okay. We're not going to chew a hole in the ship, are we?
No.
Okay. No, we're not going to break the ship.
Okay, then it's better than dropping out of warp because it doesn't waste any time. So,
Right. Okay. Red and grab on. We're doing the thing.
Oh no.
I would actually suggest that he stands at the other end of the hallway.
Oh, go stand at the other end of the hallway then.
Okay.
Do it faster.
I'm
So
just there.
Great.
still
Other end of
start
the hallway.
glowing.
No, the warp finally decided to start fucking with Redden.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck.
You have to roll me a strength or athletics check to run down the corridor that is steadily elongating. I've been sitting here trying to get warp phenomena to happen, and I haven't been getting doubles.
When I notice this, I'm gonna set my watch to red. That is a failure.
Okay, so you start running, and it seems like it just keeps going on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Still, what you see is Redden is running, but in place.
Can I throw something at him? Because that's dumb.
I would say in your time patrolling the ship, you'd at least keep like a little baton or something for your personal safety and your shotgun. You'd probably just huck the baton at him.
Does it do anything?
Yes. Because you emphasize you want him to move, when you throw the baton, it makes a small impact shockwave and sends Redden physically flying.
Oh,
Redden, in your eyes, the corridor snaps back to its normal length and you go flying to the end.
Oh,
So you hear Annihilation say, okay, okay. Breathe out and open your mouth. No. Don't inhale. I'll take care of that part. So yeah, after you exhale, you lose control of your body, and Redden,
Yes.
it's only now that you notice that the whole color of the ship's been off a little bit, as it starts going from kind of this little dull red color, rapidly shifting back to its normal gunmetal gray, as it's all kind of slowly absorbing towards Sil, who is basically pulling what Star Platinum did and just sucking a shitload of the warp.
Oh.
She's just breathing really hard. Stops, exhales a little bit, continues breathing, and after about a minute, the warp's gone.
I hope Sil's not warp toast intolerant.
So you hear Annihilation and go,
Does that get over?
that's the good stuff, but...
Does that go over the box?
Yes, as soon as the warp is gone, you can get comms back normally, and you actually have a feed direct as soon as it comes live.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and fucking box to Redden that I hope you get shot.
Why?
Because that's a stupid joke.
After what I just saw, that's a legitimate concern.
Does the warp even have warp toast?
Oh my god.
It just tastes really cold.
By the way, despite Annihilation not being able to help you on the whole gorging thing, because of the gorging thing, you don't have to charge your power armor until he's woken up.
Nice. Can she still teleport it?
Yes, but that does use up the juice itself from the power pack, so you have a limited finite amount of teleports before it's out. And when it is, you're not getting more until Annihilation wakes back up.
Right. Also, Captain,
Yes.
voices ever actually like thud against the ground when they go to sleep?
Do what float against the ground when they go to sleep?
Alurian, or the big scary guy.
Have they ever done
Isn't it?
anything like that?
Not really. I mean, when you're physically in your head with them, yes, but like when they're talking telepathically, no.
When I'm like in my own head? Sure.
Yeah.
Because Annihilation actually like thudded against the ground when I was in my own head. Or not in my head, I was I got put back in my body and then I just heard a thud. It was weird.
Can you make me a perceive check, Conrad?
Sure. Let's pass.
Okay, so you're just cycling through the cameras in that room, and there's a large metallic serpent lying on the floor behind Sil's boots.
Oh, turn around.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
You see a massive metallic serpent, I assume.
Yes, about 60 feet in length, all coiled up in a massive coil on the floor.
Can
Its
I
head
pick it
is
up?
distinctly alien.
Can I pick it up?
You can pick it up.
Okay.
Is that
Taking it back to my bed.
Okay, she's moving it. Okay. Well, it's time to play traffic conductor because I'm going to try to make sure as little fucking traffic gets in Sill's way so there's that less witnesses.
Make me an intelligence check with a plus 10 bonus from Sun being like, this is bad, this is bad.
Because I think it's going to be much easier. I did it. It's going to be much easier to conduct traffic than try to convince Sill to stop. So.
Yeah. All you do is you expand the quarantine you already had on those areas to the places Sil is traveling.
Right.
So that's simple enough to do, and then as soon as she's gone, it's, the lockdown ends. So, Sil, where are you bringing the big-ass fucking metal serpent?
Well, the plan was to take it to my room. I don't know if I think I forgot how to get to my room.
Oh, no.
Do you inform Conrad about that? Because she can easily direct you there.
failed an intelligence roll.
Conrad is going to ask Syl where she wants to bring the damn thing.
Well, it's sleeping, so I need to put it in bed, right?
Okay, do you want it to be in your bed? Do you want it to be in a bed?
Well, I mean, it'd be rude to put it in somebody else's bed, wouldn't it?
There are beds that aren't anyone's.
Right. But I can pretend. Look, I've got a plan here, so I'm just going to put it in my bed.
Okay, do you remember where that is? Because you seem like you're lost.
I thought I did, but I've seen that door like 3 times.
Yes, I noticed. I'm going to start directing Syl in the direction of her stateroom.
So as you're directing her, Sun is shadowing your efforts and getting those areas cleared.
Waving his machine gun around like a bad man.
Yep, there's only one encounter that's inevitable on the elevator, as it was already heading down with one occupant, as Syl is standing at the base.
Who's in it? Is it anyone important?
It's Malice.
I'm going to calm beat him while he's in the elevator.
This is Malice.
Hello, darling. I have a... Just try not to have a panic attack. There's going to be a Syl and there's going to be a 60-foot snake, okay?
You people keep some weird pets.
Don't ask me.
The box goes dead.
Why is this taking so long?
I give Syl the warning that Malice is going to be in the elevator. He knows that you're going to be there. Don't, you know. What does Syl do?
I'm gonna throw the snake at him.
Please don't throw the snake at Malice.
Alright, I mean...
Thank you. I will not stop you, however, from scaring him with it.
Oh, I was gonna swing it at him since you said I couldn't throw it at him.
You'll probably dodge.
Right, fine.
No, I said he'll probably dodge. You're fine.
Yeah, but that's not fun. I'll just offer it to... No, I know what I'll do. Okay, I've got a plan.
I'll be watching. Better be good.
Okay.
So the elevator comes down and the door opens with Malice, whose eyes only speak of temperaments and preparation. He's basically trying his best not to give a shit.
Elf boy, you ever seen a god?
Once or twice.
You want to pet one?
Is it sleeping?
Yeah.
Malice kind of tiptoes over, puts his finger on its head, and the second he makes contact, a rush of blue warp energy runs up his arm that he's poked it with, and all of the synth flesh blows off.
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Nick's eyes snap open, and you hear it hiss. Then you see green cracks form in Malice's arm. You hear him go, "Oh shit, oh fuck," and then it starts to break.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Falls apart, and the only thing left is a gleaming blue soul stone.
Oh.
She lived, technically.
That's not what I meant to happen.
As soon as the hissing is over, your snake friend goes back to sleep.
No, that's what the fuck is happening.
Necron technology, Meld Eldari craftsmanship.
Malice picks up the soul stone and goes, "I'm pretty sure that's supposed to work the other way around," as he steps off the elevator.
Did you just try to break the snake?
What? No, I'm just saying I thought Wraithbone was designed to deal with Necron stuff.
I think the snake tried to break him.
I'm going to radio to Malice that, what part of a god did you not get?
You know what? I'm gonna get enough shit for this.
Oh, I'm sure she's going to rip you a new asshole, but you might want to report to either Laura or... what the hell is his name? Shax, that's it.
Thankfully, I have a spare replacement arm. I just don't like wearing it.
Hey, Olympian.
Is it
Or not
pink?
Olympian.
No.
You don't have to see it
Ozra.
now. What do you want Ozra for?
Ozra.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to try to get Ozra.
It's not hard to contact him.
Where are you? What are you doing?
Act 3, hanging out with the Clan of Wonder. Some of them showed interest in having Wraithbone augmentation to their cybernetics. So, I figured I'd give a whirl on researching it.
That sounds dope as hell. That sounds like an honor guard. I like it. Anyway,
It's
dreams aside.
just concealed weaponry. But what did you call me for?
Still wants you for something. Our local commissar's arm just blew up because he touched a god. I should put him in better context than that, shouldn't I?
Oh,
It's why I love you people. So he needs a new arm, huh?
No, he has a spare. He just doesn't like it, apparently. No, it's in fact, it's Syl who wants to ask you something, and she refuses to tell me, and instead just screaming Ozra.
I'll go.
What?
You've been forcibly dragged into the call between Ozra and Conrad.
Ah. Hello.
I did it.
So, I've got a god and it just blew up Elf Boy's arm. Can you replace it? But, you know...
He's got a spare.
No. I want to watch. And I also have to, you know, make sure he gets punished for trying to break my fucking snake.
I don't think Malice tried to break your snake. I think it's an automatic thing that's supposed to happen when Necron Metal and Wraithbone touch each other. Just kind of like...
Right, but if you know that, then he know that, and he did it anyway. He could have used his not elf arm, but he didn't. Just wanted him to pet the god. Is that so hard
We could
to
also
ask?
just accept the fact that no matter which way this goes, it wouldn't have hurt Annihilation, and Malice doesn't have a fucking arm anymore.
Didn't he just say he doesn't like the spare? I was just trying to help.
I think he's going to like the idea of Ozra operating on him even less.
Alice, do you want an actual doctor to, you know, put on a new Wraithbone arm, or do you just want your spare?
Okay, so it's pretty clear to me that you don't know quite how Wraithbone works. So I can handle making myself another copy, but yes, I would love Ozra's help in gathering the raw materials.
Okay. Also, did you know I was going to do that?
No, I didn't even think of it. I feel kind of like a dumbass now.
Oh, okay, fair enough then. Sorry I made you touch it. I didn't.
Yeah, my
know
own
that.
choice.
Yeah, this is a Necron god, I think.
I'll remember that for next time.
Yeah, he shouldn't be here again next time. He should be back in my head.
Right. So, Conrad, you'd see Malice wander out of the elevator beside the bridge and toward the staterooms.
Okay.
He's still missing the arm, by the way. He's heading toward his room.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking stalk his ass.
So you get all the way up to his door before he notices as he goes to lift up his missing hand to punch in the code. Look down and go, oh, right, and then pull up his other arm. That's when he kind of looks and notices you. Unless you want to catch him off guard with something. You might do something about you staying true to your word.
Where is that exactly?
You said you wanted to see it.
Yes.
So he opens his door, goes to his bed, gets down on his knees, and pulls about a case a little longer than a rifle case.
Mm-hmm.
pops the lid, and there is a replacement human cybernetic arm.
Uh-huh.
Now, you can pretty much instantly tell the reason why he hates it, because the thing's plated gold and looks like it's designed for a war hero. But all of the socket work and stuff up at the shoulder is being converted into Eldari Wraithbone, with some really weird connectors between the two.
Is this some bastardized version of something to do with your pops?
Nope. He puts the arm on, does a few calibrations with the fingers, fiddles around inside the control panel in the forearm.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, this was a gift that I never wanted to use ever. As he looks over at the shoulder and pokes the beak of the Aquila symbol. Well, specifically the whole head, and it opens up to a little container with claws that he sticks the stone in, and then clicks the beak again, and the Aquila slides back together. And the whole thing is dimly lit blue by little vein-like structures.
What did you do to earn it?
Whew, that's a long story.
Did you defend an entire planet with 50 men, some sticks, and a bit of stone? Bartas did that
wish.
once, apparently.
Nope. I just killed the right person at the right time at the right place.
Oh, well. That does sound like a story. Would you like to see the thing that I'm never going to be able to use, that I'm going to keep hidden forever and ever?
Sure.
Excellent. I'm going to bring him into my room while, the rest of the party does whatever, and I'm going to basically flip over my the bed in my room and show him the power claw. And be like, all I had to do was tell my dad I loved him.
Wow. You're right about the never gonna use it thing. I doubt you could fit this thing over, well, a tank even. It might make a good
Right.
dozer, though.
Put on glory, maybe.
Wait a minute. He kind of gets down and starts inspecting the symbol on it.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
He actually flips it around so the gauntlet's facing him, and he starts to work again. And he pulls off a little panel on the inside. Puts the panel down, because it actually is one of the ones you unscrew. Proceeds to take his arm and pull the panel out that he just had open a minute ago and compare the two marks, and then sigh very, very, very deeply.
Uh-huh.
They both bear the same mark. They're manufactured on Mars, in an era long past.
Oh.
By the
Well, at
same
least you-
goddamn person.
Oh. How does my dad know you?
I want to know how my dad got his hand on an arm that was made 10,000 years ago and then had it converted into an Eldari technology.
Lots and lots of tech heresy and probably the Ordo Chronos, let's be honest.
What the... Anyway. That's a scary thought.
What?
Okay. The guy who built all of this gear, all of the Primarch's weapons and armor,
Uh-huh.
what the hell would he be doing making a cybernetic arm designed for a human?
I shrug. Best project?
I just really, really hope that it's just a dozer blade or something.
It's probably not. Oh, you're talking about mine?
Yeah.
Did I not tell you where I got the... I know I said that all I had to do was tell my dad I loved him, but you don't understand. Do you know who my father is? Have we been over that?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Just being sure. Oh, well.
And that's why I'm slightly terrified. Because again, the person who built that built this. And he waves his arm around.
I shrug again.
Coincidences don't exist. And he gets up and he walks out of the room.
Nice one-liner, nerd!
So, when he goes to leave, the lightning claw briefly flashes to life. Like a power on, as you say, nice one-liner, nerd.
I'm gonna, just radio the malice by the way, the moment you walked away, it like turned on for a second. Thanks for that. I don't know if you had anything to do with that. The thing doesn't have a power field, does it? Like your fist, your arm, your thing?
The claws are wreathed in a power field.
Conrad has enough tech use to know that probably wasn't any kind of weird thing with that, right?
No, the way that it triggered felt more like it was definitely your doing.
Jesus.
But yeah, shortly after you come and tell him that, it powers off.
I don't know. Maybe it's when that has something to do with I'm challenging people. I'm gonna have to get someone in here to insult them later. But that's for later.
So yeah, Malice is now sporting a blingy new gold arm.
Shiny.
At some point, Conrad, over the next few days, is going to tell him it would be better if it was pink.
Well, luckily, about 72 hours pass without anything happening, so lots of time to casually insult each other in the mess hall.
Boy, it's not an insult, it's a suggestion.
Right.
In these 72 hours, I'm going to enact my plan.
I've get everyone to pet the snake.
Nope, my bed is occupied, so I have to sleep somewhere else.
Oh, it's all fucking 7D chess.
It was all
Yes.
rings.
Oh, this is happening.
So my bed's occupied by a snake god. Can I use yours?
Bold of you assume that he didn't plan this from the beginning. Also, you.
What does Sterling want to do? / Laura?
So, it's been 72 hours since the incident, and that was already 3 days into the warp travel, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
so you're approaching the end of the first week.
Excellent. We all know what Laura's been up to.
I forgot.
Well, the first 3 days would have been taking measurements and starting prep work, and then the next several days are going to be working on this God's guitar.
Right. Right. I almost forgot that we going to have a brain dead legion of people to shoot at things.
Not brain dead, not necessarily, unless they have
Very
to be particularly willful and require that. Just an inhibitor chip or two. Not brain dead, though.
I like to think that Conrad puts them always down in the reports as brain dead, and then someone comes behind her, and recorrects them as limited autonomy.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's exactly how Conrad and Laura's reports go. Is Conrad makes a report, and then files it, and Laura goes back and edits it.
You're probably right.
Jordan. You
Jordan.
Theoretically, you can use the power claw.
I know theoretically, yes. It just takes an ungodly amount of work.
You sure?
We could make it a team attack where everybody just grabs on.
We could.
No, look what I said.
Damn it. Is that even gonna show up in the
Oh no. No,
it
it's
doesn't show
not.
Pictures? Damn.
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
What Redden dreams of.
Any checks you want me to roll?
No, I was gonna say, since you've just been in the blueprinting phase.
That would have been the first 3 days that we were in warp.
Right. But I guess you could do some tech roll tech roll.
Tech use.
Roll the dice.
I love how
God, I'm retarded today. Okay.
What
Also,
is the specific roll for? Is the
make a
question.
tech use and a Medicaid.
Because
Excellent.
one is making
Exactly.
sure all the things are locked together, and the other one's to put them in.
Yes.
Excellent, because
Mind you, this is a prototype, which means you're using a servitor as a base and not experimental crew member or anything yet. Because if you fuck it up, all you're doing is blowing out an already lobotomized brain.
Excellent.
Before you move on to those poor stowaways we had.
Yeah.
Alright, let's start with Medicaid. Plus 20, and... That's a pass. Barely, but that's a pass.
Thankfully, servitors don't have a whole lot to work with, so...
Wait a second. Wait. I need to check something. That's right. I'm gonna wait until after we're done with warp stuff before I spend my XP on that. So yeah.
Oh shit.
No, but I have Medicaid at rank 2, which means I could get superior kite. But I'm gonna wait till after we're done with the warp jump to have that. So yeah. So that still counts as barely a pass now. Plus 30, plus 20 for tech use. Because mechadendrites for the win! Oh, I'm fading that. I am actually spending a fate on that because that is... Okay, much better.
Oh, yikes.
Much better. Much better.
It awarded one yike.
Yikes,
Anyway.
noted.
You managed to get all of your cybernetics into the servitor body without anything overloading or exploding.
Excellent.
Now, mind you, this is a lot easier because you don't have so much variables in a servitor body.
And won't I actually have what's-his-face helping me with the actual thing?
Yes.
Excellent.
You will actually have not only Mr. Shadow, but a bunch of other people to assist you. Because when you actually get this shit rolling, it's gonna be like, hey, everybody needs to get on this group project.
Excellent.
Building exercises.
Which means that I would probably have to fail really hard to fail at that point.
Well, you already did once.
No, I didn't. Fate
Not
says I
technically.
didn't.
Fate says you didn't, but the law says you did.
God damn it.
Something about alternate timelines.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, so you have one prototype Scutari. Dude has all the bells and whistles of your average Scutari. Subdermal armor, hidden weapons, synth muscle, enhanced vision, enhanced hearing, inhibitor chip, and the sender and transceiver for your brain impulses.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this was incredibly expensive, and with the resources you have right now, you could maybe make a squad of them.
Better than not having a squad of them.
You could make maybe 4 or 6 if you skimped on some of the parts, like say the subdermal armor. Pain in the ass. As well as the actual operations themselves will take you the better part of a week, even with all the help you're getting.
I'm okay with that because that gives me a project to work on and keeps me from getting drunk for now.
Yeah, it's about 1 day start to finish for one complete unit.
And on that note, so we're going for discount Scutari, so don't need the subdermal armor. Or at least don't need full subdermal armor.
Just put it over the vital organs.
Yes, exactly.
And the soles of the feet.
And should be able to make regular tech guard out of the rest of them.
More or less, yeah.
So,
But again, the thing is right now is resources.
yeah. So we'd have 6 more or less full-fledged Skitarii, and then the rest would be get basic augments.
A mindless gaggle of, automatons, basically.
Does that mean the one real Skitarii is basically alpha?
Basically?
We can discuss the lore later.
Okay.
So that project is underway. You'd have to loan out one of Gord's medical bays, by the way.
Do I gotta roll
Sure,
a
he won't mind.
fellowship for that?
Yes.
Charm away!
Yeah.
1 second. Let me check something.
Basically rolling up to him and going, could I borrow your medical bay for a week, please?
What was that?
You're basically asking to kick Gord out of his work zone for a week.
What if I offer to let him help? And to give him, like, 5 or 6 to play with.
He has, like, 3 supermassive projects going on.
Shit.
What if I offer him the entirety of the prison?
Isn't that what you need the bay for, though?
What? I was offering him the brig. He can use that.
What, just set up medical tables and treat anybody who comes in?
Yeah.
And I haven't worked in a field hospital for a while. He literally gets up with a doctor's bag and walks out, leaving the key card on the fucking counter and a note that says, do not touch, on about almost everything in the lab that you don't need.
Laura is going to turn to Syl and hug her, and then try to avoid being punched.
Well, luckily for you, a punch does not come. Instead, it is an incredibly awkward return.
Thank you.
I do not.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go sleep now.
Okay. Have fun.
Gonna go to Medea's bed because mine's occupied.
Thankfully, it wasn't that hard to convince her, so...
Hey, a god's using my bed. Can I use yours? God,
Pretty much.
it's.
That's a pickup line if I've ever heard one.
Like, there's a god in my bed, and it's kind of a little too big to share. Can I share yours?
It'll be Syl's fucking Valentine's, I swear to God.
Anyway, so, yeah, that's not too difficult to do. And, once again, nothing fucking happens.
Who would have thunk?
Which, by the way, I'll mention what Conrad's been doing, because I remembered that there was XP I had to spend, and I finally had just enough to get 2 things I've been wanting.
Oh.
Yes, Conrad is going to be spending her time talking to our array of pilots to learn the in and outs of the vehicles there. Because I just picked up Hotshot Pilot and pushed the limit.
Oh, shit.
I should spend that. Hold up.
Anyone who wants to spend their XP will spend the rest of the week in intense training.
Oh, wonderful.
Does this mean Conrad gets to have a Top Gear montage?
You're literally like bitching and moaning about how there's no way that you could get out and fly without dropping out of the warp, and then yeah,
Someone cue Danger Zone.
Apollion's basically like I could throw up a simulation.
Gonna bag me a MiG.
Actually, no. The hotshot piloting you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
Apollyon makes you run the fucking gauntlet. You pilot
Good.
everything from low flying orbit transports all the way up to a ship the size of a frigate, and everything in between.
I can handle it.
Yeah. Interceptors, void-capable ships, landing craft, vultures, Valkyries. You basically get a spin at all of them.
So when the Angel of Death finally pulls up too hard and knocks herself out due to G-forces, I'm ready.
Angel of Death, the ace of aces.
With all the medical shit that Laura is currently doing, would that qualify as the intensive training for Superior Kyurgan?
Yes. You're spending 7 days completely engrossed in people's guts and inner workings. If your hands weren't steady going into this, they'll be steady when you come out.
Excellent.
Anybody else?
I'm going to be talking with Mason about what he wants to
Okay.
get as things go on.
Okay.
I have a declared action instead.
Okay.
I would like to find Shade and talk to her about something.
Boy, this is gonna be good because you're like I should talk to Shade,
Hey,
and then
Shade.
the door opens.
Oh. Shade in the doorway?
Yeah.
Well, are you gonna come in?
He literally turns around for a moment and places a landmine in front of the door before closing it. And I mean like in front in the hallway.
Would it have been better to put it on the door?
Eh.
Fair. Just in case, sets the watch to blue.
Just in case. That's a good start.
Oh. Oh. So Shade.
So Reddit.
So I've been actually thinking about it. And about that the writ. Just because you're just to hand it off to Conrad. Because she's actually right. Don't tell her I said that.
I'll make sure to keep your dirty little secret.
Why do you have to say it like that?
Because you never want her to find out, and it sounds like good blackmail material to me. You're being blackmailed, Redden.
Ain't the first time.
So yeah, she'll
yeah.
keep her silence, but for her price. And give the writ to Conrad.
What's the price?
I mean, it's
A
pretty
broken pelvis.
obvious.
Try to lock the door.
You just get a nod.
Alright, time to weld that bitch shut.
Just a scene of Redden locking it digitally, putting a bar across the door, putting a chair up against the handle. So yeah, Redden's gonna be busy for at least 6 hours. Don't ask why.
Just leave water by the door.
And Conrad, you would have one of the crew members deliver you the writ. But Conrad's not here right now. Huh?
Nice!
You
I'm
scared
sorry,
him. You scared me.
I'm sorry about that. I have 1,200 XP I need to spend for Mason.
Okay. So, while everybody's indisposed, this is the perfect time for me to roll something.
Not if I do it first.
I don't know, can you beat 82?
Maybe. Yes, I can.
Oh. Okay. So, you're all doing this, right? Engrossing yourselves in your activities?
Yeah. You could say that.
Then you drop out of warp.
Oh no.
Not good.
I did it.
Thank you, Mason.
Also, Jordan,
Congratulations.
is that a talent?
What?
Someone's knocking on my door, one moment.
That thing I just spent 600 XP on.
Yes, it's weapon intuition.
Okay.
Okay, now I need to go through here. I'm trying to see what else would be good for you.
I just love how secure this door is.
Yes.
Should I lock the door, even though there's a landmine in front of it already?
Yeah, but the landmine just makes it so I can, blow it from a distance.
Well, she has a point. Do you want to
Yeah.
increase your weapon skill or ballistic skill or something?
Can I increase... My weapon skill is almost as high as my ballistic skill.
Your ballistic skill, because you want to go guns.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah. Can I increase my ballistic skill?
How many times have you increased it?
None.
What's its base?
4.
You mean 40?
Yes, I do.
Do you have ballistic skill and finesse as aptitudes?
I have finesse. And ballistics.
Okay, I thought so. That makes a lot more sense. You are an assassin.
Yes.
And you have 600 left, right?
Yes.
For 350, you can get that up to 50.
Ooh.
And then mark 2 pluses next to it so you know that you've upgraded it twice.
Okay. So now I have 350 or 0 left?
No, you just spent 350, so you have 250 left.
Okay.
Do you have athletics as a skill?
No.
Do you have strength as an aptitude?
No.
Do you have agility as an aptitude?
Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead and take a level in acrobatics.
Okay. I don't have that either.
Wait,
So
now
yeah,
we can see Sil cartwheel while firing a grenade launcher. This should end well.
Do you have dodge?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck it, we'll save the rest of it. You got 150 left.
Okay, cool.
So,
Sil now has acrobatics and weapon intuition.
That's if I don't have a training for it. There shouldn't be many weapons I don't have a training for.
Anyway, so now that's done and over with, I can actually. So you are the person who would know, who would get this. So about a minute after you drop out of warp, Medea would plot over into the bedroom and flop down on the bed next to you and just pass right out.
Makes sense.
She's got that usual pale glow to her skin after she comes out of navigating.
So she's going to be out for a little bit, so I should probably prepare something for her to eat.
Oh no.
So let's tuck her in and find some food.
Right.
Some strong, healthy food.
Static? Question mark?
Strong,
That's
healthy.
Too much gain.
That's what that is?
More like
I think it's
here.
gone now, though.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's get that strong food.
Thankfully, you don't know where Medea keeps any of her ingredients, so you end up down in the mess hall, the place you eat most of your meals.
Yeah.
And there's a lovely housewife who's willing to show you how to make a home-cooked meal.
All right.
Penny!
Let's do that.
Yeah. Make me, I guess it would be...
Let's make a not fuck this up roll.
Yeah. Roll me against your intelligence, I guess, because I feel like that would be Sil's biggest detriment to making food.
That's
What
a
do you mean
pass,
you don't
man.
just slap it?
Wait, is that a pass? That's not a pass.
I think that's a failure by 3.
That's a fate by 3.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't
Here it
meal
comes.
Prep, wouldn't meal prep fall under
Wow!
Go. I
That's
have-
crit fail.
I have
Poisons.
a question, actually. Wouldn't
It would be
meal
under
prep-
survival.
Yeah,
I don't think Sil has survival.
but isn't
No.
isn't that against perception?
No.
You might be right, I have to check, but in this instance, I just thought Sil's intelligence would be the biggest blockage of her making food.
Fair
As in
point.
her mind, it's probably like just slap a steak on on a rock until it turns brown and it's good to eat.
it has to be a hot rock.
Also known as a stove in certain cultures.
No, it's a hot rock.
Yeah, it's just a rock we stick in the fire and then we slap it.
That's a legitimate form of cooking, just so you know.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so you're just not getting this whole prepared food thing.
Okay, so where does the rock come into play? Because I brought the rock, but we don't seem to be using it.
That's because most food doesn't have rocks in it, Sil.
Yes, but it has to be strong food. Give me a knife, I'll show you how.
No,
Let it
no,
is.
no, no. You know what? Just give me a minute. I'll make you something to bring up, okay?
But I've got to cut open the melon. You can't cook a rock melon without it being cut open.
You finally made Penny slip up for the first time. You hear her mutter under her breath, "Oh my god, you're an idiot sandwich."
Oh no!
She breaks for just a moment to mutter that before inhaling again and trying for round 2.
Going back to
Gonna
being
find the
the
knife.
model of the fucking housewife.
Brett, you
Oh,
broke
wait!
Penny for a second.
Wait a second.
Wait, I have a helmet. I'll
I
just
have a
headbutt
helmet.
back till it's open.
Like,
My,
thrown on terror.
What?
She said.
I'm gonna make most of it, and you can just add whatever side dish you want, okay?
I think I just knocked myself out.
Oh my god. So, you forgot the helmet part and just smashed your rock into your skull.
And unlike the helmet, this time it didn't, just bounce.
You know what happened? This is exactly what fucking happened. Is as Sil is like swinging the rock full force, he's like, "Annihilation, my helmet." Oh right.
Can't I get informed that Sil just knocked herself the fuck out?
You get a priority medical response from Gord because Gord has been running around. He hasn't been treating people in the med bay as is predisposed, which means he'll be running over there with his medical bag right now.
How does it feel to be on call and doing... Well, how does it feel to be doing house calls, Doctor?
I haven't had this much fun since my time on Jovia.
Sounds like it involves genocide.
It didn't involve genocide. Mass sterilization.
That was my second guess.
Can you guess where I picked up my talents?
I can only imagine, Gord. Will you excuse me, I'm going to go stare at my planet.
Did I at least break the rock?
Did she?
No, you broke your skull. You're gonna actually have your face bandaged up.
It's going to have the forehead bandages.
The forehead bandages, the wrap, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
You know what that means? A loss of depth perception.
Who needs depth perception when you use explosives, am I right?
Fair.
So, somehow Medea managed to magic you guys out of the warp a week early.
Of course she did.
Cool.
Of course she did.
The
She's good at her
best
job.
navigator? Give that lady a medal.
She makes her own.
I'm gonna turn that rock into.
Well, I feel like at some point me and Redden are going to be talking about this, Jason. And then I feel like Conrad's just going to look at you and go, well, if I become a rogue trader, can I make my own medal? Or medals?
You know someone who can.
This is true.
Captain, I broke
Anyway.
the skull.
Yes, it's unfortunate.
How do I
You
fortify
survived,
my
that's the important part.
Can I fortify my bones? Let me check Dad's.
I think that's a question we should ask later.
Mike, is there anything in Dad's book about fortifying my bones?
No, there's nothing in your dad's book about fortifying the human body.
Damn.
So, how close are we to hell and the moon?
Medea fucking nailed it.
Is this...
Like, she put you on a dime outside the moon's orbit.
So what I'm hearing is the fact that this station is probably having a heart attack right now because someone just blind jumped into their system a hair's breadth away from wrecking into them.
Yes.
Well, time to get on comms.
As soon as you run up to the bridge to deal with it, you can already see on your monitors all of the reports of interceptors coming in.
Of course, of course. And I'm going to,
they're just relaying the automatic message from the station.
Well, I'm going to throw myself onto the command throne so I can start answering hails.
All right. Again, they're all the same one relayed a bunch of times.
Uh-huh.
Which is the commander ordering you to state your business, your trip here, and why you're in the quarantine zone.
Oh, this is a quarantine zone. I wasn't aware.
The Imperium marked it as a quarantine zone. How old are you, Conrad?
Conrad is like 22.
Then 16 years ago.
Huh. Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Because of said quarantine, they don't get any visitors from the Imperium unless they're either people who aren't telling anyone and no one knows they're coming here, or they have our retarded today ulterior motives.
To ask, if you'd be so willing. Authority to be here, as it were. Though I'd just rather talk about something like that a bit more privately.
Look, we need at least something to write down in our logbooks as to why you're visiting. Hell, just say you're a courier. I don't care.
Okay. Then I am nothing but a simple courier.
As long as you promise you're not going to spend too long in our space, then we'll be fine.
I live here now.
Conrad says absolutely nothing to that.
Alright, I'm sending you people the docking coordinates.
Excellent.
We'll meet you at the stateroom.
The stateroom as in on their station? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Captain?
Gonna get all my nice Imperial Navy uniform. I'm going to take the Archaeotech and jewelry form. Actually, no, I need something better than jewelry form. How
Crown.
big can the Archaeotech stuff be? Well, how big does it have to be, I should say?
Its cubic volume has to be equivalent of about an ingot of wraith bone.
So out of curiosity, could I make it into a basically like one of those ribbon blocks? You know what I'm talking about? You know, like admirals and captains, they get awards and you put it on the uniform in a ribbon block?
Yeah.
Could it disguise itself as something like that?
To stay connected somehow, it couldn't do individual pins, but as long as they stay connected, then yes.
Well, again, it'd basically be like a set of columns that the quote-unquote ribbons would be slotted into, but in this case, it's all just the wraith bone.
Then yes.
Okay, and I'm going to get Sun to help me like put that on proper and make sure it looks legitimate for anyone who's actually in the Navy.
It's going to take him a little while to help you get all that done. Sil, you tried to say something?
Captain? What's an idiot
Yes?
sandwich?
Are you a what?
What is an idiot sandwich?
An idiot sandwich is, I think, just another way of saying that someone is stupid.
Oh, Penny called me an idiot sandwich.
Why did she do that? It's probably because you split open your head, didn't you?
Well, I had to put the rock melon in the meal, and I didn't have a knife. She wouldn't give me one, so I had to improvise. And I forgot I didn't have my helmet on.
Yes, I don't think you're an idiot, Sil, but I think you might have been acting too far out of your field of expertise.
Well, Medea looked
It'd kind of be like
awesome.
me dealing with high explosives. Bad things will happen.
So I should go learn how to cook from her by, just standing there and watching for a bit?
That might work. Perhaps you should go to another cook besides Penny first and see what you can pick up. And then when you get the basics down, try to get her to teach you.
Do we have another cook?
We should have several. There's a lot of people on this ship.
Can confirm there are several cooks.
Okay. We've got business. I can't do that right now.
Yes, speaking of which, I have neglected to inform the commander straight away exactly our business here.
Right, so do you need me to stay on the ship, or Whack.
And if you want to be there for extra muscle, or just there to also flash your rosette, that's up to you.
I mean, it's
I'm going to try with the entire I am, Conrad Novigrad. And see where that gets me. And then after that, I'm going to mention I'm also an Inquisitor, and, we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay.
So, the ship docks.
Hoorah.
Excellent.
Who all wants to come with Conrad? What are you about to say, Mike? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say the exact same thing you did. Anyone
Okay.
want to come?
Mason, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails, okay.
I was ready for you to say down, I'm not going to lie.
I thought about it, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm going.
Would Laura be mostly done with her various stuff by now?
You are early, but you have everything in place to keep the production going even without you here.
Delightful. I'm going.
Okay. So yeah, Laura would show up literally like cleaning the blood off her hands.
Hello.
You missed some on your face.
Do we have a concealed holster?
I have one.
Can I use it?
Sure.
Well,
Oh,
okay. Because basically I want to have the family hand cannon on me, but I don't want people to be able to see that it's the family hand cannon.
then you
Fair enough.
then you can't because it's made for this gun, and I pull out the compact pistol.
Oh, right, it's tiny as shit.
Yeah.
I
could
have a
probably
code
jury-rig
you can put it
something.
in.
Mike,
Yes.
do we have any holster on the ship that is just a holster that will cover most of the family hand cannon to where it can't be identified outside of being a big fuck-off gun?
So you spend the better part of 15 minutes questioning people before Sun sighs very deeply, reaches into his coat, and pulls out his underarm pistol rig, which also has a hand cannon in it.
You saved my life, son, yet again.
He literally
Well-
sighs deeply as he undoes the button and pulls his hand cannon out, hands it over to you. You can see
now that I
the
think about
family
it.
symbol on it, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a sign of the Aquila, but this time backdropped by the sun.
Oh, thematic. Haha.
Ah.
Also, the words Sol Invictus are written in below that.
The invincible sun.
Yeah, don't
Or
remind me of
invulnerable.
my embarrassing heritage.
Why does everybody have a problem with their family on this ship?
I
Who
don't.
does?
Look, how many
Do
people
I attract-
are going to run away to a crew like this without demons or skeletons in their closet or
Well,
Well, I'm just
family
saying that
issues?
there's an abnormal number of daddy issues that I attract. That's all I'm saying.
It's not my
Even-
father, it's my children.
Oh,
Well, this is
I
why I
made
will.
no mistake.
You had, unprotected sex?
No, I had a few kids, and they all started fighting over who got what. So I said, fuck it, you get this much, you get this much, you get this much, and the second I disappear for longer than a week, they all start a succession war. So I said, fuck it, and became a merc.
That's pretty cool.
Let the kids sort their own fucking problems out. I don't care anymore.
Sounds like you have a lot of repressed issues, son.
Sounds like he's got a
The
lot
reason
of
why I have such a cheery attitude. As he beams you a winning smile and hands you the holster.
Okay, I'm going to take the holster, I'm going to slap son on the ass, I'm going to tell him to keep it up, and I'm going to leave.
Why'd you take
Shit,
him?
so you now have an underarm holster that you can holster your hand cannon in under the coat.
Excellent. So, the whole team's coming with me?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm also going to make sure that Sun and, Malice know, for the sake of ship security, that I have no idea how this, little talk's going to go.
Everyone's going to go on combat alert, but not like spring into action stations until either you make the call or they get fired upon.
Got it. So, let's go to a stateroom, wherever that is.
Right. So there's no physical docking access. You're going to have to fly over.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how podunk is this station?
It's so out of repair. The reason why you can't dock physically is because the section of the station that handles that doesn't work. It's threadbare at
Depressurized and everything?
best. Yeah. Lights are off in places where lights should be on. Half the air filters don't work. These people are just surviving. Like, they are treading the line between total loss and pulling through. Yeah, one short shuttle ride over, you're all disgorged into the cargo bay, where Conrad, you'd recognize one of the remnants of the Hellion PDF.
Excellent.
In his fancy all-black armor and the little shoulder spikes, which show, like, the command rank.
Absolutely dashing is what I say.
Basically, the bigger the pauldrons, the higher your rank.
Sounds like something my father would do.
Yeah. Anyway, he reports being the last commanding officer, Cody. And he's basically the head of the holdout military that's been holding this asteroid base.
And enforcing Imperial quarantine on the place that the Imperium hasn't stationed anything to quarantine it on.
Yes.
Excellent.
As well as fending off any occasional Dark Eldar attacks.
I imagine they can't be too strong because, no offense, but I think anything that was serious would wipe this place off the face as well. The universe.
No, it's mostly young Dark Eldari who are trying to make names for themselves. They think that we're an easy target, and they don't realize that we've been fighting a war for generations.
Right. So as long as they don't bring, well, somewhere in between overconfidence and not nearly enough firepower, they die.
Right. We've managed to get lucky, but who knows how long that'll hold out for.
Right.
So he starts to lead you along the main promenade toward the elevator that'll take you up the stateroom.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys pass, occasionally you get double looks from people, or like somebody will see you in the street and drop what they're holding, or you'll hear a small gasp. It's not the entire crowd, maybe 1 out of every 10 or 20.
Going to ask Cody if he has any idea why people seem so perturbed.
Well, we don't get a lot of visitors out here in the first place, and the amount that actually come onto the station are even smaller than that. It's a rare sight to see somebody, especially people as well-dressed as yourselves.
Noted.
So up the elevator y'all go.
Yep.
And it disgorges you out to a very well-furbished stateroom in Hellion style. Black wood is the primary component of almost everything in this room. Even the things that are made out of metal have been scorched with fire.
Of course.
Leaving everything looking dingy and almost like a fine dust covers the room.
I think Conrad's like gone into full nostalgia mode.
It's basically a carbon copy of half of the staterooms on the planet below, or at least what's left of them.
So yeah, I think Conrad's probably going to be caught in that for a moment. I don't know who's going to notice.
By the way, your contact isn't in the stateroom yet, so...
In that case, Conrad's probably... Go ahead.
So everyone has time to kind of explore their surroundings a little bit.
Conrad's going to immediately go up to the desk that's there and just feel the top of it. You know, the wood, as it were.
It's that familiar prickly sharp sensation that's the familiar with the native wood on Hell. It's a defense
Nice.
mechanism. So even though it's sanded straight smooth, it still has little prickles in it.
Excellent.
Meaning it's never quite as comfortable to rest your hands on this desk than it would be normal desk. Or anything made of Hellion wood, for that matter.
Anybody else want to do anything?
I am also going to touch the desk.
Again, ooh, it's prickly.
I am going to examine the stateroom because curious.
Okay, so it's comprised of 3 tables. One is the desk that Conrad and Syl are currently feeling up. That is in front of the wide window that leads out to a view of Hell below. The other 2 tables actually look like somebody intentionally hand sawed a perfectly good table in half along a weird crisscrossing switchbacking angle.
Why?
And then sanding the 2 sides down so they could still meet together in the middle and create one whole table. Conrad, you would know the reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is in Hell Society, it's common belief that almost anything that's been broken can be fixed.
Right.
Even if it's just held together by spit, duct tape, and hope alone.
What works, works. That's the important part.
Right.
Cody catches up with us at this point, as I'm explaining to Syl why the desk is pricking her.
Yeah, when you guys would have arrived there, he'd head back down the elevator to grab the man in charge, so to speak.
Right.
This desk
Which
feels like
is-
the back of an ice Slytherin.
Of a what?
Well, it's like a big thing that lives in the ice and it doesn't have legs.
Random scrutiny.
Well,
That's a pass.
And what are you
what's a random
scrutinizing?
scrutiny get?
I'm scrutinizing the room for anything that's otherwise out of place.
Okay. So then, once again, you would pick up on something that Conrad can help elaborate on. Which is, you're just bumming around at the little sidebar that they have here, seeing what alcohol native to Hell looks like, and you pull a bottle that has a string attached to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pull it up to a certain amount, it only goes so high and then stops. And when you do, you hear a mechanic lever pull, and the bar swings open. Conrad, almost every stateroom on Hell is built with a secret exit.
Huh.
Don't worry about it too much.
Literally
I simply say-
commonplace in even normal citizens' homes to have secret escape routes, either into tunnels that have been constructed or outside to the street.
I'm going to go ahead and try to reset it before, we have to explain that little misunderstanding.
Law actually just broke one of the biggest faux pas in Hellion society, which is never reveal your host's
Friend's
secret door.
ropes,
Yeah,
right?
that's a pretty big no-no. So you basically walk up and swing it closed and kind of don't do that again, please. And yeah, when you close it, the elevator opens and Cody is there with a priest.
Ecclesiarch, how surprising.
Laura totally just messes with an actual bottle of alcohol at this point.
So the guy in the robes heads over to the desk and plants himself into the seat and kind of pulls out some paperwork, glances at it, squints, throws on some reading glasses, and goes, "Okay, so you're the crew of the Apollyon. Assume you'd be the captain, and you're here saying courier service. Are you just refueling on your route, or
Absolutely not.
so then your deliveries for here then? That's rather unusual.
Yes, it's a entire shipment of troops in a small invasion force.
Oh, the Imperium finally decided to do something about this place, I guess?
No, not necessarily. I did.
You did.
Quite.
You know there's nothing on that planet, right?
Oh, I know. I
Drones
grew up
and-
there.
Right, and you just somehow survived the massive slaughter, made it all the way out of the system before the quarantine hit, and what, managed to get into a high enough rank in the Imperium to gather troops and come back?
Yes, you had the nail on the head.
Sorry if I don't believe you, but that sounds like a rather far-fetched story.
Oh, it should. I don't blame you. Conrad Novigrad is my name, by the way. Perhaps that will clear up a few things.
So, the priest leans back in his chair and puts the file back down.
Mm-hmm.
Looks right at you and goes, "Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You're the third Novigrad to come through here in the past 3 years."
Really?
Yes. It's actually become a rather routine thing for people to show up and claim themselves to be the royalty of this planet. I'm getting sick of it.
Okay. If I may ask, what did the others bring with them or had with them or anything of that nature?
That's the reason why I say they're attempts. None of the claims have legitimacy.
If at all.
Yeah.
That's my question to
However,
him.
like the others, he's willing to give you a chance to prove himself, or prove yourself.
Well, my first question to him is how well did he know my father?
I was your father. Bleh. I was Mr. Novigrad's personal aide for 33 years.
Okay. Conrad is going to go through the best of her ability and basically walk him through what she remembers her father's day-to-day life basically being in the parts that she was involved in as she was being trained to overrun the estate of the parts she absolutely hated. And will try to skip out on it and get caught with.
Make me a fellowship check.
Laura,
Okay.
Can Laura support?
Yes.
So that's a plus 20 bonus.
69! Failure.
Really?
By 9. Yes,
So yeah,
because I
he
only have
doesn't
40
buy
fellowship.
it. He doesn't buy it, but he throws you a fucking bone. He says that the entire royal family on Hell, at least before the fall of Hell, all had, commissions done of them at this station.
Okay.
So, we'll just go down to the commission and see if you're in it. All the family members of the Novigrad line are there, so...
Oh, by the way, you know what? No, I'm just going to keep that in my chest, I guess. Never mind.
In your chest? Literally, or...?
It's close. I gesture generally to in between my arm and my chest. I don't want to get your security antsy.
It's still a pocket.
Unless,
It's still a pocket.
can I ask him if if it's a weapon. I'm not going to use it on you, of course. I just want to show it to you because I think it may help my legitimacy here. Or you're going to assume I somehow managed to get it off my father's corpse.
He literally looks at Cody, who motions him, and he motions you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, carefully, tenderly take out the family hand cannon.
You're gonna put it on the table, or just leave it in your hands?
Leave it in my hands, let him see it, nice and proper.
I'm no good with weaponry. Cody, can you come here and take a look at this? In which
Let
case,
Cody look at it?
would... meander over and take a look at it. He goes, I never saw him use it, but it does look a lot like the old Lord's personal sidearm.
So, I think I know what might solve this entire thing, Captain.
Well, I mean, we're going to be heading to that portrait hall because I simply want to see what the hell my mug looked like. But what's your idea?
Well, I've got a question for you. Point at the guy who said he was the personal aide to the...
The ecclesiarch guy, yeah.
I've got a question for you. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Right, so you said other people have come here trying to, claim they were part of the royal family, but did they ever claim what they were for? That's
No.
not how it...
Many, I assume, just want to advance their own personal interests.
So, Captain, I think if we, if you told him what you were here for, it might actually help convince him.
We could do both.
I'm just saying it might make things a little bit easier.
Look,
Okay.
I've gone along with you people long enough. This time it's my turn. Now come
Okay.
along.
Yeah, exactly. See?
And he leads you back to the elevator, back down the stairs, through the station, and into the carving hall.
Mhm.
Because Conrad, as you know, not everybody else do, despite Hell's very bleak outer appearance, the stone from underneath the surface is a brilliant marble,
Mhm.
which is what all these statues are carved out of. And when you do enter the hall, you can hear somebody chiseling away at stone.
A true artiste.
When you enter, you're greeted by the statues of your forefathers.
Mm-hmm.
And with the knowledge that you now have, a lot of the family heads look really familiar.
Uh-huh.
Like your dad tried just hard enough to fool regular people, but anybody who knew what was up could see through it pretty easily.
So what does it look like?
You guys, everybody just has a very strong family resemblance to each other.
To Conrad, they're all her fucking father.
Oh.
This is where Conrad's mother is finally revealed, because when you get to the end, where your father is, your mother is beside her. So, apparently being a sister of battle is something that runs in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is wearing yeah. The fucking sisters that are the medics. Hospitaliers, I think are what they're called.
Yes, hospital.
She's wearing those robes.
Okay.
And when you get to the end here, you see the person working on the said statue.
Huh.
And when you walk around the corner, he kind of disgruntledly, kind of starts complaining loudly that he can't get any work done if people keep showing up.
Forgive me, I don't think Conrad's going to say anything else because she's just trying to look at what her mother looked like because she never got to see much of her.
Okay, when you say forgive me, this guy misses his hammer blow and smashes his hand.
You act like Conrad's going to, pay any less attention to, the statue.
Right. So this guy turns around and goes, "Who the fuck?" The hammer hit the floor.
Uh-huh.
Does he know you? Do you know him?
Oh, right. I look at him finally.
He literally looks back at the statue he's carving and then looks at you, looks at the statue, frames your face in a picture and goes, "Damn it, I got the nose wrong."
Well then.
and literally just moves over to the next uncarved block, re-picks up his chisel, and starts going to work again.
He is certainly dedicated.
He's a bit of a perfectionist.
Well, then, does that add any credence to my case?
If the sculptor who knows the entire family lineage says he got your nose wrong, then he got your nose wrong.
Is there one of austere somewhere in here, by the way?
There is one of austere.
Mhm.
Only it's the young austere before she left the planet.
A baby.
Yeah. And it is at this moment that you learn that you and austere had two separate mothers.
Makes sense. That's what I always figured.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, long story short, your claim's being kind of legitimized now because this guy has the perfect memory of the entire family line going back generations in his head, so...
Except the noses, apparently.
Shut up, Conrad's grown. His words, not mine.
By the way, you have the pick skull still, right, Laura?
And also have the optical mechadendrite, which curls over her shoulder and wiggles a bit.
That can take pics?
Yes.
Okay, well, we need pics of baby austere statue, because that's going to be the only baby pictures of my sister I can use for blackmail.
Why don't you just ask for, like, a smaller version of the statue?
Well, that's
That'd
like
be-
heavy blackmail.
No, that's just be weird at that point.
Yeah, but then you can just pull it out and be like, you want to see austere as a baby?
Or I could just have them as
Worse.
pics.
Just to let you guys know, as soon as Cody heard the news that you're, like, legitimate, he bolted.
What is he
Where are
doing?
you going?
He's literally, like, half wheezes as he gets around the corner that he has to tell people.
No.
Is this like a good thing, or is this a people are going to run away thing?
Let's put it like this.
Uh-huh.
It's the Ecclesiarch talking. This is a bit of a second chance. You're an unknown
Right.
quantity. Nobody knows if you could be good or bad.
Do you want to tell him what we're here for now?
Besides conquering the planet?
Well, I was going to put it as reclaiming, but whatever.
Yes, the entire point of this is to give the people of Hell a place to live again. And get rid of all the abominations that are stomping around down there.
Well, I figure that might give them something to go off of based on whether or not we're a good or bad thing.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm at this point going to inform our dear friend the Ecclesiarch about the fact that we actually are here super early. And the rest, well, the two other ships should be coming in like a week? Hopefully.
I hope you brought enough supplies to feed all the mouths on your ship. We're barely scraping by as is.
Oh no, we definitely have enough for that.
So the Hellion anthem just started playing over the Vox speakers.
How patriotic.
It's very haunting.
What is that noise?
By the way, the entire song is played by wind instruments that sound very hollow and phantasmal.
Like I said, very haunting.
Sounds like people crying into a straw.
Many people wonder why I have issues.
Look at my culture.
Wait, if we reclaim the planet, you could always just change it.
That's the plan, but that's for later when we have a planet to rule over.
Let's get cracking. I haven't had a good chance to use my grenade launcher in, months?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
So then, at this point, I'm going to look at the Ecclesiarch and be like, I suppose I should probably address the people, shouldn't I?
Your public awaits. No doubt they've already gathered outside the elevator waiting for you to come down.
Excellent.
Hoping it's easier to prove to my people that, I'm me. I should just have to punch somebody in the right place.
Or your mother sees you for more than 2 seconds. I'm sure it'll work.
Yeah, isn't your mother medical?
Yeah, but for all I know, she could be in the mines. Or out there killing things.
I like to believe we're in the elevator.
You are.
Okay.
And when the elevator opens, you are presented with a line of the Hellion PDF, forming a border between you and literally every other person on the station,
Excellent.
who have literally all full-flung into patriotism mode. Like, there are torn flags being swung back and forth, and people are fucking cheering.
Can I make a fellowship scrutiny check to see if this is patriotism out of the fear of my father's legacy or legitimate?
Sure.
Because I don't imagine many of these people were true patriots even when father was around. I'm going to go ahead and spend a fate for that. Because this is important to me. That's a pass.
Okay, so, it's not fear. You can tell that straight off the bat looking at it.
Okay.
One, I guess, emotion you can take from the people who are all cheering at you is hope.
Right. They're just desperate.
You literally, showed up at the last minute. People are going fucking nuts because they all lost hope. Like, these people had nothing. They were consigning themselves to death. To just slowly fade away, and then all of a sudden, just boom. I'm here, and I've got a plan to take back the planet. Suffice to say, your public lost their collective shit.
So, I think Conrad is very simply going to, at this point, look over the Ecclesiarch and just say, am I just screaming, or is there some way I can more effectively communicate? I don't have implants, unfortunately.
Why don't you tell them to quiet down?
So to ask, I'm going to assume that there is something in the culture that is basically, if I raise my hand, people should quiet down because I want to speak.
Yeah, it's a commonplace for public speakers to give the crowd a few seconds to kind of let the hype bleed out before a simple hand motion. It could be just a raising hand, a waving hand. It generally, as long as it involves the person's right hand going up, that's a clear signal for people to quiet down.
Okay, I'm going to give them a little while, and then I'm going to give them the signal.
And just like clockwork, everybody shuts the fuck up.
All right. Well then, I'll be honest with you, as much as I was getting ready for this, I didn't prepare a speech. So, for those of you unaware, somehow, I am Conrad Novigrad, and I'm here to try to give you a home back, and myself, of course. In about a week, the rest, well, hopefully in about a week, we're here early, the rest of my forces should arrive, at which point I'll begin doing everything that's necessary to figure out exactly how this is going to work. I appreciate the very warm reception for you all.
So, is that the end of your speech?
Yeah, no, Conrad isn't like this fucking glorious mover.
Well, whatever you said was enough because, as Hellion society is rather brutal, it's rather common for people to self-mutilate in a sign of, you know,
Loyalty?
yes, to somebody. It's usually done with a long ceremonial knife made of bone. And
Mhm.
every single person, including the guard, pull out knives or bayonets and all make the single slice down their arm, showing that they are indebted in their blood to you.
Okay.
These people will go all the way.
That's fucking weird.
Well, I'm never one to let one good turn go undeserved, and I'm going to take my right sleeve and the left. Is it the right or the left arm that's Cyber Ice? I always forget.
It's the left.
Yeah, it's your left arm.
Okay. In that case, she's going to roll up the sleeve of the right arm, and she is going to ask, Cody has a proper bone knife, or does any of the PDF have the proper traditional bone knife?
You would get one provided to you as fast as fucking possible.
Okay. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to make the same cut along my arm and say that I am indebted and loyal to Hell's people, as you are to me.
And just like that, a cheer goes up in the back of Long Live Governor Novigrad. People echo it, and before you know it, people have lost it again.
Excellent.
Well, Captain, you've inspired hope.
I know, right? Could you believe that me could do that?
Yes. I've always believed that you could. You've just never actually acted like it.
I don't know, maybe it's easier to tell myself that I can't than actually try sometimes.
Well, either way it goes, Captain, I'm proud of you. You've given these people something to fight for, something to believe in.
Thank you, sir.
Take pride in yourself for once. Smack on the back.
Well then.
After the ending of your little speech, everybody is dispersing, double timing it back to their positions. And just to let you know, when you entered, everybody was slumped, walking slowly and lethargically. So this is more action than was before.
Excellent.
There's motivation in the air.
You there, PDF boy.
Yeah.
Allow me to teach you and your people the ways of my father.
Which
We're
is
gonna
that she
learn
wants to...
the base.
Yeah, that.
Do what?
I'm going to teach you how to fortify a base. So your men know how to make a proper fighting entrance.
So you can't see this, but his eyebrows just went up.
Just going to tell Cody that she's really good at it.
I'll take your word for it, and I'll get a couple of my boys rounded up in shifts for this training. But just to let you know, we've been holding out this long. Gotta be doing something right.
It's not a matter of what you have or haven't been doing right. It's the matter of the fact that she's a grandmaster of it. Or at the very least taught by one.
I was going to say, let's just say I learned from the best, and I've already seen a few faults that if these things were any smarter, they could have got through.
Right.
Well,
But anyway.
come on then.
Oh, and Governor Novigrad, I've been told to return this to you.
What is it?
It is your dad's symbol of office.
Oh, nice.
Which is you know the big ass scepters?
Yes.
It's like a Speaker of House scepter, as the governor held authority through all the nobles, and it was meant to be a sign of I can silence you.
Nice.
Yes, it's actually commonplace in history for the governor, the speaker, to actually bludgeon other members to death with said mace. So it's fully functional.
gonna kill Barnabas at least once with it.
Oh no. Just walk up, so this is your home, crunch,
Conk, conk, conk.
Oh god damn it.
Anyway.
You really shouldn't have let us know that he's fucking invincible.
Not invincible, just unkillable. Well, maybe not unkillable, but undying.
He's a phoenix.
I think that is the first time anyone's tried to make Barnabas sound cool.
I'm gonna drown him.
There it is.
And there's going to be an explosion of light, and he's standing there.
So yes. What the hell happens now? I'm going to be helping. What's the name of the ecclesiarch, by the way?
Who tells you to call him Drake?
Okay, well, I'm going to be helping Drake as much as I can. As far as whatever he's got, I want to know what he actually has here and what he needs.
There is, on the station residing right now, about 150,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 150,000, only 10,000 of them actually filled roles that could be useful to your campaign, members of the PDF, the old government, the like. The rest were menials.
Okay.
Factory workers and the like.
Right.
There's also a small group of artists and others that fit along those lines that don't actually do anything useful, but have a skill that is something they've mastered.
Right. Well, then, just to ask, as far as the bare necessities of the station, is it going to explode anytime in the next few weeks?
The reason why the power is off is because they can't use the main reactor.
What's wrong with it?
It's ruptured.
That's a problem.
And with no viable way to fix it, they decided it's probably better if they don't leave it on, pumping radiation into the station.
And so currently every breath of air they take is dangerous, to put it one way.
No, thankfully the people of Hell are survivalists to their core. And everybody seems to have some kind of fix it with duct tape solution. And in this case, the Hellion solution would be solar power.
Nice.
Yes, they actually have the entire one level of the station entirely ringed with solar panels designed to collect light from the nearby star.
Excellent.
I approve.
They literally had no other sources of power, and it was either suffocate or get on it.
Gotcha.
Laura sees no tech heresy here.
It's only just enough to power the filters. Everything else is basically on borrowed time.
Okay. So in that case, probably what's going to happen next is that the next part of what Conrad wants to get done is she is going to get a hold of Shax and ask him about his current workload on the ship.
He's had enough spare priests lying around that he was able to help Laura out with her own crazy scheme.
So it's not...
It's nothing critical.
Whatever you have lying around who aren't critical, ship them over to me, please, because this station is getting ready. Well, I don't trust this station not to start falling apart at the seam the moment I turn around.
You say that as a panel falls off the roof behind you.
Cursing.
Laura grabs
So Shax is going to send me a little team?
Yeah, he'll send you a group of about 10 tech priests and about a dozen servitors.
Excellent.
And while that's happening, Laura's putting the panel back up.
So, I say. Probably me and Laura trying to take a look. Well, me and Laura and the tech priest trying to get a look inside that reaction chamber and see if it's workable in any way, shape, or form.
This
It's
can
totally
be fun.
fucked. You don't even need
Okay.
to do a roll. It overloaded and blew out the side of the reactor. These people are fucking lucky they're not constituent atoms right now.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well then, there's still
The
a
entire
problem.
reactor room is actually exposed to space, so you all have to vac suit up before going in.
Right.
Wonderful.
So, short of getting another reactor, there's not much to be done here.
Short of getting an entirely new reactor and then patching the fuck huge hole. That
Which is a
goes
long-term project.
Yes, and this hole goes all the way from the center of the station to the outer ring of the station.
Okay. So,
This hurts my soul.
Right. 1/4 of the station's actually decompressurized because of it. But hey, less oxygen for us to clean, right?
right?
Aha!
So,
Well, in that case, I think the best thing we could probably do with our manpower and our resources would be, because from the way it sounds, general maintenance has also gone more or less ignored.
Due to a lack of engineers or tech priests? Yeah. Everything here has been fixed by literal Hellion know-how and spit and duct tape.
Okay. In that case, I will dispatch Laura and the tech priest in order to try to fix as much of the station as possible to increase the amount of time it will function before it rips itself apart. Because I can't fix the power problem, but we can fix the efficiency problem.
Alright, tech use me.
Plus 30, plus 20. Oh, fuck.
It's a crit.
That's a crit.
Okay, Laura,
Yeah.
you take one look at the entire power grid, right? Like you're staring at a monitor with the whole power grid displayed out on it,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh,
Oh.
someone forgot to flip the switch here." Then you just push a switch, put a fuse in, flip a breaker, and the other backup fusion generator kicks on.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Mind you, this isn't ship size, or this isn't like a full station size generator. It is just a backup, but it's enough to run all of the lights, the food, the air scrubbers.
It makes up for the deficiency that the
Yes.
solar generators could make up for.
Yes.
Everything's
The
going
only thing you
great.
can't power is the station's defense array.
Okay. Which, right now, we don't immediately need.
And if it came to combat, we could always switch. If it came to combat, we could always switch the power route.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, like everything, the Hellions were really intense about building the defensive, the defensive platforms. And there's
Uh-huh.
enough ordnance here that you would have to shut off everything else that's pulling off this generator to power the weapons.
Is there a way to shunt away from... I would have to tech use that to shunt away from the very power-intensive batteries to get the secondaries only, wouldn't I?
Even then, you'd only be able to run one section of the array at once.
It's
Okay.
better than nothing.
So you'd have about a 45-degree angle of fire.
It's better than
Which,
nothing.
again, I
In
think-
space, 45 degrees is a lot.
I still think that's a problem to deal with when, there's something coming at us. Because having 45 degrees in the wrong direction doesn't help us.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the one blown out quarter of the station can't really function, so...
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's still a blind spot, no matter what.
Right.
But yes. Conrad's probably going to mutter something about thank the Omnissiah as lights start coming on in uniform patterns.
Laura's
Right.
going to look at Conrad, ears twitching, and it's like, I knew you had it in you. After her muttering.
Yes. All right, fucking. This one, Conrad's like fucking. She doesn't know what to do now because that was the project. That was get everything ready, and hopefully by the time that's done, the fleet will arrive. But here we are.
Just turn on the switch.
And just flip
Good
the switch.
job.
They had no tech priests, so nobody knew there was a second fusion generator this whole time.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody for it.
It's fucking
Yes,
hilarious.
I guess find a place to land, don't land yet, and basically plan ahead.
We could, I think, instead of doing that, we might be able to run some preliminary scans before Barnabast's scouts get here.
Yeah, that too.
That's what we're going to spend some of our time doing. There we go. Thank you, Redden.
What's up?
Oh, by the way, Drake would give you the report of everyone who's passed through the system
Mm-hmm.
in the past few years.
Has Alarmian woken up yet?
He is still passed the fuck out. And Loken's even tried to wake him up. Like, he's being brutally honest with you.
I'm going to ask Loken if he has any idea what the switch is and can he flip it.
Switch? What?
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
Now you've confused Loken. Like, so what fucking switch?
Oh,
Hello.
Welcome back.
Who are these fake Novigrads?
They're all rogue traders or others of their ilk trying to get a free planet.
And failing.
And failing because all of the reports end the same way.
Uh-huh.
Which is, well, you can't exactly try to push your legitimacy on people who have been fighting a war for their lives for, 16 years.
Right.
You kind of show up, put a gun to their head, and they go, "Do it, pussy."
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, these are the kind of people that when you threaten them with violence, they go, "I'd like to see you try."
they're gonna
And
threaten
pull
you.
out their fucking stick and go, "I'll kill you with a stick."
You threaten them with violence, they're gonna respond with more violence.
They're my people.
I think Syl will like these people.
Yeah. Insult a Hellion, and they might come at you with just the fucking closest thing they can find. A brick, a shovel, a pointy stick.
Their baby.
A teacup.
If you incite
So-
them to violence, it's quick. Anyway.
Is there any dumpster fires I need to put out before the rest of the fleet arrives?
No, the only thing that keeps you busy is everybody wants to meet you.
Of course. Which I'm fine with.
You would spend basically the entire week meeting and greeting with your citizenry.
Good PR campaign.
Yeah. And again, like, these people, they're beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that just by looking at them in the eyes, they're the kind of people that, despite being beaten and ragged, haven't quite given up yet.
Mm-hmm.
But your meetings do wonders.
Speaking of which, you know who else I'm going to bring on these meetings with me? If he, of course, wants to. He's not forced to, legitimately. And I will in no way be upset if he refuses, but I would like to ask Malice if he'd like to come.
White guy blinking meme.
Hang on, I got you, fam.
I feel like Conrad's just standing there waiting on him to answer now.
Okay.
Is that a yes? Do you not want to? Again, it's up to you.
No, he just thinks it's kind of strange, that's all.
I shrug,
But he's not
and
going to
I
say
go,
no.
well, listen, I really don't think we're going to get... I don't think there's a better way for you to figure out the kind of people I come from, to be frank. To get you an idea of more what you're trying to get yourself involved with, yeah?
Okay.
I.e., I'm still trying to dissuade you from your stupid course of action, and maybe I want to spend time with you, so make yourself decent, and I'm going to leave him.
Thank God you're out of earshot, because he's going to mutter about not understanding women.
Is that what Apollyon just loops me that audio feed?
Yeah. You literally see him, like, wait for you to get out of earshot, lean back, sigh, and mutter something about how long he's been alive and still not understanding women. Because the Apollyon has blackmail for you from everybody.
All the embarrassments, all of them.
I'd like to
Redden's
think
pelvis
there's
being
a
broken. It's
folder
great.
that's just labeled "Sil knocks herself out."
I have a folder that is one is for every time Laura gets blackout drunk and wanders somewhere she's not supposed to do and says something embarrassing, right? One is still knocking herself out. Another one is Redden, and it's just called Pelvis Destroyed.
What?
Selfish destruction.
Wait, hang on, I zoned out. What did I just come back to?
Conrad has a folder of every time Redden has been raped, okay? Don't worry about it.
Wait, that's on camera!
Exactly.
That is horrible. I hate you so much.
It's only just now you guys realizing that your ship is essentially Big Brother.
And Conrad is the one with the controls of it.
Oh, anyway, though. Yeah, the next week would pass by pretty much without incident.
Mm-hmm.
And, Barnabas would show up. And then the Pax Romania would show up. And by Barnabas, I mean the scouting ship.
Right. Also, how did Malice like meeting and greeting the Hellion people?
Let's put it like this. A lot of people figured that you two were a thing.
I wanted to see how he takes that heat. How does he take it?
He's embarrassed for the most part. He has very childlike reactions whenever people say it. You know, like instantly looking away or blushing or instant denial.
Does Drake have anything to say? I imagine on like the second or third day that I drag him along for this. Does he talk to me about it at all?
No, Drake is forever playing the part of a good attendant. Whatever you want to do, you can do. I'm not going to bother you about it. You're the boss, not me.
Okay.
I mean, as long as it doesn't impact the Hellion population, he doesn't really give a shit. Mind you, the second you start ordering Malice to start blamming people's heads open, then we have a problem.
Which is exactly why I haven't, and I have no intentions of doing that. In fact, I restrict that man from blamming a lot of things he'd blam otherwise.
Haven't blamed anything in so long, the bolt pistol is dusty.
Connor, I thought of something absolutely fucking terrible to say. Who is in this? Mike, make this... Who else would be in this room at this point? Is it just me, Drake, and Malice?
It would be you, Drake, Malice, and the one person who's just leaving.
I'm going to wait for that one person to leave, and before the next one comes in, I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I give you blue balls, don't I?
Okay. I'm gonna run to get some water. I'll be back.
On that
They
note,
continue to destroy Malice.
on that note, Mike, do I have to roll anything?
Again, you fixed the power problem, which is the big thing.
I meant back related to ship stuff.
Oh.
She's probably going to be spending a week going back to chopping people open.
Yeah, Medicaid and tech use.
I'm going to assume that Malice and Drake have nothing to say to that, and Malice is just going to try not to die.
Medicaid 11.
You literally hear him go.
I passed.
He does what? I'm sorry.
He growls, very very distressed growling. Anyway,
that Medicaid is
Fucking amazing.
and I passed that tech use with 2 degrees of success.
congrats! You managed to show up just in time to complete the neural net.
Yay!
Which means that you have enough time and you're around to have them synced up with your MIU.
Very happy wolf lady.
Which only works with the Scutari. The other tech soldiers are, well, for lack of a better term right now,
They're
semi...
They have limited autonomy, but they still can problem solve.
Right. So yeah, you're going to be cutting up bodies for the rest of the week.
I'm a little too excited by that, aren't I?
Right. And just to let you guys know, when the day comes that the Paxtromania and Barnabas' scouts roll in, everybody on the station begins to arm themselves. Like, everybody you meet on the station on the last day is rolling around with sidearms, rifles, las guns.
I informed them that they're my people. I don't know if they're aware of that or not.
Like, everybody's arming up.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
They are your people.
So everybody knows, right? Also to ask, you didn't sneak Austere into that scout ship, or Austere didn't sneak herself into that scout ship, right? Right?
No.
Good.
Who needs to sneak aboard a ship?
I'll fucking stab her.
Fucking stab her. No, unfortunately, Austere is a little busy literally doing what Conrad does and staring out into the fucking warp board. Because Guru Barnabas is still stuck in warp travel. But anyway. So yeah, Barnabas' scouts and the regiment would show up.
I'm back, and I also want to say I'm disappointed in you, Jordan.
What did I do?
Not blue balling you, am I?
That would have been better.
That was such a mean thing to do to him.
I mean, if this man would ever ask me out on a date, maybe I'd treat him differently, but here we are.
You could have said something like, "So how's our honeymoon going?" No. You gotta go straight for the sex.
Well, she is a virgin, and she's still angry about it.
Barnabas doesn't know that.
I'm pretty sure Barnabas has put 2 and 2 together. Maybe not Malice.
Did Conrad ever come to the realization while drinking that and just go off the handle at Barnabas over it?
No, she probably went off the handle at Apollyon about how unfair the world is.
fair enough. Her pseudo-daughter.
Exactly.
How's the fortification of the boys going?
Okay, so a lot of people are disgruntled when you first show up.
Trying to boss people around and shit.
Right. But it takes one call to Conrad to clear everything up.
Ah,
As soon as they hear that you work for Conrad, they're like, whatever you say, boss lady. And before you know it, by the end of the week, people are actually impressed by the fortifications you've made. Anybody who now wants to assault this station will have to go through not one, not two, but 4 lines of defense. Essentially having to level 3 walls and then get past a firing line.
that's what I fucking call fortifications.
Now, mind you, these walls aren't military grade. They're made of whatever scrap you have lying around, but they're sturdy enough to hold from most fire.
The real question is, are they sturdy enough to break Dark Eldar shard guns?
Yes.
Good.
And yeah, Barnabas's scouts would request to make an expedition to scout on the surface of the planet.
Of course, I will also give them whatever preliminary data the Apollyon was able to scan from with her augers.
The Apollyon would have given you a report of 3 power sources remaining on the planet.
Okay.
One is in the Hive Spire proper, Spire Novigrad.
Mm-hmm.
One is at your uncle's estates, the one who's in the Baneblade.
Right.
And the final one is way the fuck out in a cave beside the main highway that circumnavigated the planet.
All right. Well, first and foremost, I need to go support my uncle. And so I think the job I'm going to give the first scouting expedition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is first of all to broadcast over military channels because I believe he may still be alive, right? And so to broadcast over a guard channel or this PDF, whatever the PDF channel used to be, he probably is tuned into that or something close to it. But basically identify that, you're here on my behalf and so on. So hopefully he might not shoot you. And if you see a Baneblade, don't engage it.
Okay.
My uncle is a Baneblade, don't question it.
We're just gonna start gathering supplies for our expedition now.
Good on you.
Right.
As whoever that lieutenant commander is, just realize why Barnabas is so scared of fucking Conrad.
My uncle's a Baneblade, don't worry, don't ask. Anyway, so they're gonna make their planet fall, but Conrad,
Yes?
you feel a little tug deep in the pit of your soul.
Oh, great, amazing, wonderful.
Yeah. You've never felt this emotion before, so when you actually ask somebody about it, the response you get scares the shit out of you.
I don't like where this is going.
You basically go, oh, whoever you want to ask, what the hell is this feeling? Explain it to them, and they go, oh, you're homesick. And that's Conrad's response.
There's your scene, everybody.
You're homesick. Anyway, to give you a little info on the other power source, the one near the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to the unique geomagnetic properties of a lot of the metals on Hell, it's nearly impossible to fly through the mountains. Hence why the circumnavigating highway was built. As if you try to fly through any mountain passes, you're likely to be hit by, a couple gigawatts of electricity. in these areas also leads to perpetual twilight, as there's always thick black clouds blanketing the sky in these areas.
Right.
And anyway, the only way you can reach said power source is via taking said highway. Now, mind you,
Okay.
you can fly to a spot just outside the interference zone and then drive in, but it will still take you at least a day of driving to get to that spot,
Right.
which means you will need a vehicle to get there.
How rough is the terrain? Well, I mean, this is a fucking alpine world. Why did I ask that question?
Thankfully, the highway was designed to last. So despite its dilapidated nature, it'll still give you pretty much a straight shot as long as the person driving avoids the potholes.
Okay.
I mean, there are some sections where it's crumbled away, but there's at least one lane that you can use.
Remembering the superhighway, this is built to be able to handle full-blown military parades and everything else, right?
Yes. It's like 12 lanes long, it's super massive, it can hold up Bane Blades.
Okay, as long as Glory can still fit on it, because we need to take Glory out for a spin.
The fuck was that?
Evil laughter?
Why?
I don't know.
We can bring out both the tanks.
I think that's overkill.
And
Yeah, but we need... Captain, we're reclaiming a planet.
Yes, and we're doing preliminary scouting work.
But I haven't gotten to be in Glory for a long time.
Yes, we're taking Glory to go check the cave. I'm saying we don't need Glory and a Bane Blade, as much as I love Godkiller, okay?
You mean you like Godkiller more than Glory?
No, I'm not saying that, Sil.
I was gonna say.
doesn't
I
Laura
love both
still
my
need to
tanks
teach-
equally.
Doesn't Laura still
Hey.
need to teach Conrad to drive Glory?
Probably.
Since you now have
Glory's
a
my
mind
tank.
impulse unit. Glory's a mind impulse unit tank.
You're right. I'm very sorry I made that mistake. I've been used to
Well,
talking about ships, and all ships are mine.
Yes, Glory is Sil's.
Yes.
Godkillers is yours, and the ship is mine.
I
Yes.
do need to teach you how to drive Glory, though, because you're the only other person with a mind impulse unit in the party.
Correct.
Well, what better way to do that than to do a scouting mission?
Quite. So,
Just to
I'm
let
going
you
to
guys
inform...
know, sorry to
Mhm.
cut you off, but you have to check all three of these locations out before you can actually commit to a full-blown invasion.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
We need to know what the hell the actual situation on the ground is, because anything that doesn't have a power signature that's identifiable from orbit is in low enough quantities that just require search and destroy parties.
Right. Well, one of those power sources could be powering the planetary defense. That would be
Right.
bad. Try
Right.
to make a landing and SAM missiles get shot at you.
So yeah, the idea here is that we're each going to go on 2 separate scouting expeditions to 2 of the places, and then come back, and then all of us are going to go to, like, us and the scouting expedition for Bartabass are going to go to Hive Spire Novigrad. Is my plan.
Alright, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick while you guys work over the finer details. I'll be right
Does that
back.
sound like a plan to everybody else?
Yes.
Excellent. Get to tell Glory that she gets to go do things.
I get to get back in my tank and then learn my tank has a personality.
She still doesn't have the ability to super magnet something to death, does she?
What?
The what now?
The big red button that, melts the barrel and shoots a, cannon shell at relativistic velocities.
Yeah, and that was repaired, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if they got repaired or not.
Can thank Max's boys for that.
Okay, so if there's a Titan down there, as long as its void shields are down, we can kill the Principe inside.
What did I just come back to?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, just discussing the fact that Glory had all of her experimental shit repaired too.
So I thought of a really stupid scenario that shouldn't happen.
Okay, good. Anyway, so just to be clear, Barnabas and his crew are checking out your uncle, and you guys are going to the cave.
Correct, because I believe they're going to be much better at making sure he's secure and in a safe spot than we are. And at some later point, I will go over there to visit him.
Okay? Meanwhile, you guys are going to the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're taking Glory with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What gear are you guys going to take?
Grenade launcher.
Shotgun and long lays. And we have enough room to fit, what, 2 extra people for Sponson and Top Hatch or other slots?
You'd have 2 for spawn soon, because I assume Conrad's going to take the turret.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. As long as we have Laura to drive, Conrad will always be the commander.
Didn't Laura need to teach Conrad to drive Glory?
You wanted to do that.
That's probably not going to happen. Got it.
Jason wants to take his good coat and his 3 pistols.
Okay.
Dan does
well,
5
actually,
skill.
you know what I just realized?
What?
The mercenary get-up is... Do they have a full set of PDF flak?
Very few complete uniforms to spare, but they have a few lying around.
Because that actually gives Conrad more defense than her mercenary outfit.
Who would have thunk it?
So yeah, to ask, is it the same stats as Imperial Guard flak?
Yeah, right. Exactly the same.
Okay. So it's just 4 to all body parts, including the head, if she's wearing the helmet.
Oh, and I need to bring my power armor.
Let's see. Armored body glove. The servo skulls, because yes. And a dose of stim and trank.
Oh, who we lost?
Oh no. Who'd we lose?
No one.
Awesome.
So everyone's got their prep work done?
And I'm... Let's...
What do I need to do one more time, Jason?
Oh, that's what I was asking about the plan.
Okay.
So who all is sitting where in the tank?
I get my usual seat.
The gun.
Better,
The cannon.
better question.
What seats are there?
Will Glory let me in?
We'll see.
That's a good question.
That's the point where I'm just gonna stand off to the side. I don't think she's gonna let me in.
Are you gonna do more?
Let me I gotta fellowship the tank. 1 second.
No, it's not gonna work.
Are you gonna do more of your bullshit that you did last time?
No, Glory has a bit of an ultimatum.
What's her ultimatum?
Oh,
Redden's not coming in. Ever.
If.
I just
Okay.
rolled 100.
She remembers.
Oh.
She remembers. Even.
She's very angry.
Literally, the bone you're getting, Redden, is you can sit on top.
Okay, I tell you what, Redden. You can sit on top, or if you choose, do you know how to? You can drive a motorcycle, right?
Give the flat hand shake. I'm sure I won't die. And not like it will stay.
Well, no, that's not the problem. Just don't wreck my bike.
Okay.
Glory. Glory. If I knock him out first, will you let him in?
No.
What if I... Look, you've got to let him in.
100. This tank is stubborn.
Look, you've got to let him in sometime. Because if he dies, we're just going to keep repeating it. And it's going to get boring.
I'm sure he can handle it.
But yes, Conrad will let Redden use her bike for the duration of the mission.
Okay.
Doesn't the bike have a sidecar?
Wait. Laura?
No, not the one that she got.
Oh, wait. Yes?
Since when could my tank talk?
Like, since that warp jump when we left the Mad Max planet, the planet with all the that we helped liberate a while ago.
And why was I never informed?
I thought you knew, because you come down here enough and spend enough time around the damn tank.
I haven't been able to come back to spend time with the tanks since, I had to actually do my job.
Fair point. I do apologize for that.
Anyway, you get Glory and the bike loaded up in the Angel of Death's cargo bird.
I, of course, will be in the co-pilot seat, ready for her to fuck up.
Right.
And I do want to go ahead and say that the sponsons are probably loaded with the Scutari.
Discount Scutari.
Discount Scutari.
Novograd brands Scutari.
Hey, Conrad.
No.
Remind me at one point, dude. I need to get my own
Your own what?
bike.
Bike?
Yeah.
Laura is going to turn to
We can
Conrad
make that happen.
that statement and no.
No, you make the Novograd brand. That way, when you get good enough to build the real shit, you don't stain your reputation. You get me?
Twitch.
I'm just saying.
You guys go screaming down into the atmosphere. No big trouble. I mean, there's some minor rebuffal of the wind and all that. You make it down to the exit zone. The ramp drops. Everybody gets ready to drive off, and just before you all go, Redden sits on the bike, and Magnus appears beside him and slaps a helmet on his head.
Oh no, what now?
And promptly disappears.
God.
What?
You
don't even know.
Blue biker helmet.
Oh.
Safety first!
Fair point.
Danger close.
By the way, so it's declared. Sterling put in the chat that one of the Scutari is getting the spare long las. I'm sorry, one of the... is it Hastati? Is that how you're supposed to say it, Sterling? Hastati?
Scutari.
No, I'm talking about the discount one, the one that you were talking about, what they're supposed to be or whatever.
Hesperists would be the ones that were turned into Tech Guard, though. Because Mike did say 6 would be about on par with regular Scutari.
Yeah.
What?
So we'll just go with discount Scutari.
Okay. Thought it was simpler. Anyway.
So yeah, you've got nothing but the open road and about 24 hours to drive.
Sounds like a fun time.
Interrogate the tank.
No.
Interrogate checkmate.
Okay.
God Christ.
What are you interrogating?
That's off your willpower, by the way.
I want to get to know my tank.
She's just being very forceful about it.
So you get back technical schematics that you can't make any sense of.
That's not what I wanted to know.
She could ask Laura to help make sense of them.
I want to know who you are.
That is
What are you
who I
like?
am.
No. No. That's your biology.
Machinery.
Well, isn't it biology if it's alive, though?
A machine is still a machine, even if it is alive. Apollyon doesn't have a heart and blood.
We are the heart. Our enemies run thick with blood.
Are you alright, Sil?
I'm behind the cannon. I haven't shot this thing in a while, and I'm kind of excited.
Right, well, keep your eyes peeled and we might just find something.
Remember to clean out the seat, please.
If you make a joke like that again, you'll get to learn what the inside of the cannon looks like. And then you get to learn to fly. But you don't know how to fly. I'm gonna shoot you out of the cannon.
I'm not sure.
I know how to fly.
I'll mention, by the way, that Conrad is doing the classic I'm a tank commander and I want you to shoot me maneuver of standing on the open hatch or sitting in the open hatch.
Right. So, since nobody else is really exposed, you would get a beautiful view of Hell's wildlife, which has come back in quite a high number, actually, with the human populace leaving.
Yeah, because there's no one left to hunt them.
Right. Given the actual animals of Hell are all designed to fight against each other.
Mhm.
I mean, even the herbivores have sharpened, spiked antlers to stab the shit out of you with.
Wonderful.
They're metal as fuck.
Yeah, even the worms in the dirt secrete acid deadly enough to melt through skin.
Captain,
Designed to melt
sweet
their
home.
way out of the stomach of whatever's eating them.
The worms inside of the dirt.
I'm gonna cook one of those things.
We can deal with that when we're not in the middle of missions.
But we didn't bring food for the mission.
Yes, we did.
Captain,
Sil,
I don't see any food in the tank.
Sil, it's in the supplies.
Gonna cook one. Can't stop me.
Can you what?
I'm gonna cook one. You can't stop me.
As long as it's not right now.
Well, of course not right now. We haven't stopped. What do you think I am, a moron?
That is one thing I want to ask you guys. So you guys want to power down this entire trip in one sitting, or do you want to take a stop along the way to rest? Because if you guys travel the whole distance, it'll run you ragged.
About halfway point would be good to stop.
I say so. I'll
Yeah,
make sure
make it a
because I
quick
want to make
start.
sure that Redden doesn't have to do a drive check on that motorcycle.
Yeah.
Just to let
And-
you know, since it is designed for like circumnavigating the planet, there are many rest stops you guys can pull off to with half crumbling habs and the like built up beside them.
So yeah. That sounds like a plan.
So yeah, you guys are gonna drive the first day. Oh wow, nothing
pretty much.
happens. First day, you get some local fauna and stuff flying around, running across. Nothing that can really fuck with your tank, though.
Nice.
And again, at about the halfway point, you all choose a particularly whole settlement. Looks like an old hotel or something. And, go, that's where we're bunkering down for the night.
Excellent.
Although night is kind of a loose term because you guys are just about to enter the area where the magnetics get really bad.
And so it's more like dimmer.
Yeah, it's like perpetual twilight almost once you actually cross into the mountainous region. When you come up out of the hills and actually into the mountains, you'll actually have you'll lose Vox contact, and you will not be able to bleh. Fuck. Now what was I thinking about again? Damn it.
No box contact once we go past the thing because electromagnetics.
Yes, and it'll be perpetual twilight, which means unless you guys have augmented vision, everything's going to be a little harder to see.
Well, Red's got us covered.
Yeah.
And also, I think, the optical mechadendrites also negate that too. So, Laura's good. It's just me and Syl are going to have a problem.
And
You're
I
right.
have regular low light vision anyway.
Yeah, flex a little harder.
Anyway.
What am I going to have a problem with?
Wait, what?
Perpetual twilight.
It's gonna be dark.
You mean you are going to have problems seeing?
The mechadendrite has a stab light, so that can help too.
So anyway, you all find a nice little place to bunker down, open up your packs full of supplies, and just like good old Penny, leaving you all a boxed lunch.
Of course.
Except Sills is rocks.
That bitch.
I'll fucking show her. I'll eat them all.
Oh, God.
So Sil says that, and she's like, I'll show her, I'll eat them all, and then bites into one of the rocks, revealing that it's a little spongy cake with like some meat in the middle.
She gets to live.
What?
They pulled a fast one on you and made them look like rocks, so you'd specifically do that, bite into one, and realize it's just food.
I hope Penny also realized that if she would have given Syl actual rots, Conrad would have found her in the middle of the night and ripped her into pieces.
No, you would. She wouldn't have.
No, I just, I'll just show her what it feels like to headbutt a rock.
And you would have killed her.
No, I would have just headbutted her.
Which probably would have killed her.
Would I?
You're pretty strong.
I headbutted you before?
She
And I have
has-
an incredibly thick skull.
Last I saw, what took you to knock out Syl was you using your own helmet.
Which is saying
What a rock.
something.
To be fair, Penny is a ganger girl, and they tend to be very hard-headed too.
But have you met Syl?
I'm not saying it's harder than Syl's, but Penny's probably pretty hard-headed.
Some damage will be done.
Yes, but probably not
Wait.
enough to kill her.
I don't know. I think Gordon had to put some staples in my skull.
Probably.
Is there staples?
I don't know.
Two.
Shifts, people.
I'll go first.
You have a Legion of Scutari to do that for you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Still taking a shift.
Conrad's also still taking a shift because he's actually just looking for an excuse to be up at night.
Sil's looking for an excuse to get away from Conrad so that something can be cooked.
Of course you are.
And,
I want to know how these
went
went
watch.
taste.
and
I think
Laura
Syl
gets to
wanted
sleep
first
through
watch
it
is
all
what she said.
because the moment Scutari detects something, wake up time.
I'll take first.
Okay.
By that I mean
Conrad
the
will tap
Scutari
in.
take first.
Conrad will tap in whenever Syl taps out.
Yeah.
Alright. Everyone else goes to bed for the night, and Sil is left on watch with the Scutari.
Does any wildlife approach?
You know, roll me a die of fate, because I'm doing fucking terrible today. I don't expect
Okay.
myself to roll lower than, like, I don't know, 50. Not much
68.
better. You find a small group of crow-like birds waiting in a dead tree.
I can't eat those. Get out of here.
You gonna try to shoo them off?
Yeah.
Then fuck off.
Still, master of nature.
Yeah, you're like, fuck off. All of them look at you, you pound your hands against your chest, and they all fuck off.
Guess I'm just gonna go back to my watch. Tap out like 4 hours later.
Well, lucky for you, 47 minutes later, something happens.
What?
You get to witness one of the very, very rare events in the nature of hell.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
You see, there's a small lemming-like creature, and I say lemming-like because they're absolutely retarded.
Uh-huh.
And there are thousands of them because they've reproduced that fast. And they all form this huge swarm in order to A, protect themselves, and B, find food and mates and the like. And one of these swarms is currently going up over the highway. There's thousands of the fuckers. I mean, like, you can't step outside without stepping in one of them.
How big are they?
About the size of, like, one of those little micro dogs.
Teacup Yorkies.
Like a purse dog?
Yeah, about that
Okay.
size.
What happens if I try to grab one?
You don't know the answer to that?
I'm gonna try to grab one.
And here's where it all goes wrong, and the party has to do a fucking survival session against a horde of lemmings.
Roll me an agility check, I guess, to snatch one?
Acrobatics, you have that now. You're welcome.
I do. I'm gonna try to somersault over them.
Oh no.
Fate in that.
Fate's going out. Oh my fucking god.
Now, is that your second fate today?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. So leaps off of the little raised platform that leads to the hotel, because all of the buildings in hell are raised above the surface at least by half a story.
For shit like
Specifically
this.
for events like this, yeah. And flips. Oh, you want to flip over onto Glory or something?
Yeah.
Okay, then congrats. You're now on top of Glory.
Am I any closer to grabbing one?
Reach down from where you are on the back to grab one.
Yeah.
They seem to be avoiding Glory and going around, so it's not hard to pick one up as they basically run into your hand.
Gonna snag it up and look at it. Look at it real good.
Scrutiny me.
Okay. That's not good.
It's not a pass.
No. So
It has claws and teeth.
you're coming with me.
Oh no. Oh no.
We don't have a mascot yet.
It takes a snap at you.
Feisty. Gonna bite it. Not to kill it, just to bite it.
Okay.
Well, it snapped at me, so I've got to teach it who's boss.
Establish dominance.
So
Yeah.
it starts to scream.
Uh-huh.
The decibel keeps going up until it shatters windows, waking the rest of you up.
Oh,
As every window in the hotel is being blown out by a supersonic scream.
what the
Can I
Conrad
fidget
immediately
mouse
know what's
check?
going wrong.
Saw the entire horde of screamer rats.
Fuck.
damn it.
Which alone isn't terrifying, but when an entire horde turns its vocal powers on something, it's strong enough to shatter windows and destabilize molecules.
What?
Can I
All
pinch
right.
its mouth shut?
This thing's a bit late for that.
I don't know.
So, Syl standing there holding it. Syl, can you make me a will check, please?
Yeah.
They're screaming at you.
Let go of our brother. Oh no.
Since I failed that so bad, can I baseball?
Can you baseball?
Chuck it as far as I can.
You can make me a strength check, but after that, you'll be dazed.
Okay.
So Syl does the pitcher throw, right? But she
Mhm.
releases way too late, so it just slams into the ground at full pitcher speed.
No.
Does it splatter?
Yes. It splatters and incites the horde even more.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
It'll fire.
Okay,
Captain.
Conrad. I have a question as Conrad for Conrad's brain. Like,
Yeah.
how shit scared are these things when it comes to things that are all so loud and when they start dying in massive numbers?
So, the creatures themselves are actually easily frightened alone, but it's when they form a big group like this it becomes a problem. Now, if you had a way to section off them into smaller groups, it would be a lot easier to deal with. But this is a full migration horde.
Question.
Have they fully stopped, or is it just a splinter of them who have stopped to scream at us?
Only a small group localized to you is turned to scream at you.
Question.
Yeah.
Inferno shells?
I think that's a bad idea because we'll only incite more of them. If we make
if
the
they
entire
scream?
horde think we're a threat, then they're all going to scream at us, and we can't handle that.
Fair point.
Yeah, no, a horde of this side could easily break through, like, most guard armor.
So, my other question is, right now they're not really doing much besides making our heads hurt.
Yeah, well, specifically Silts. They
Okay,
couldn't
well, I'm gonna
talk about the rest of you right now.
try to order Syl to just get into the tank, and Glory's armor should be able to drown out most of it.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll just get bored.
Gonna collapse.
Into the tank?
Crawl my way into the tank.
The hatch shuts behind you.
This plan,
yeah.
hope they get bored and fuck off, work.
After an hour, yes.
Excellent.
Well, looks like I'm going to sleep.
Okay then.
Conrad's like, well,
Your turn for watch.
yep. How's the discount Skatari doing?
They were really confused during the whole rat escapade.
Open fire? Question? Open fire? Question?
Much.
All right. What the hell else goes wrong?
So, you actually would not have anything bad happen. Well, it could possibly be really bad if you decided to once again piss it off, but another one of the native animals to hell flies over.
Oh, great.
Oh no.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody calls it a carrier bird. You can't remember exactly what the actual scientific name for it was, but it's a extremely large bird, like the size of a small aeroplane. And it's called
So-
a carrier bird because it carries its children with them.
Okay, so just to be sure I'm understanding this right, it's not like rock size, right?
No, it's like the size of a Valkyrie.
Okay. Big fucking bird.
Like a fucking bird.
Okay, well, just sit here, hope it doesn't see anything it likes.
Thankfully, thanks to your own native experience, as long as you don't directly attack it or its children, and it's not hungry, it's not gonna attack you.
Right.
Matter of fact, if you were to hazard a guess, it's probably shadowing the screamer rat horde in an attempt to teach its children how to hunt.
Right. Because there isn't anything less dangerous than a screamer rat as long as you can fly away from where their sonic booms are, effective.
Yeah. God, don't you just love this ecosystem? Everything is
Home
either
is
so
home.
dangerous you need a tank, or it's so weird you're not sure if a tank's gonna help.
All I know is that I need to get Gore to domesticate some of those screamer rats so I can have a small pack of them to introduce Barnabas everywhere he goes.
Just train them to sing, I don't know, like Muffy or something.
No, just get them to
Anyway.
scream Lord Barnabas.
Oh no, that was Syl?
I think they're back now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to domesticate a screamer rat and it didn't work.
You did your best. That's all that matters.
That's how we do it on my planet.
We picked them up and established dominance.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the animals on Syl's home planet do basically have a dominance hierarchy.
Except for the ice Slytherins. Don't
Fuck
give a
those
shit about any.
guys. Anyway,
So, besides Big Bird, nothing happens.
you hear the wailing of Eldar abominations on the horizon, but you've run from enough to know they're nowhere close to you.
Good. Speaking of Eldar abominations, there goes my dog.
So, a night passes into day.
Wake everybody up.
Everybody wake up.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm up.
Yep.
You cannot wake me.
But you are awake.
Calm.
She woke
No.
herself. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Everybody ready?
My ears.
You're.
What?
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I don't. I don't want to hit Redden.
What I do?
She's half
What?
deaf.
What?
Does Conrad know of any tried and true home remedy for, screamer deafness?
Yeah. There's one tried and true method.
Okay.
Making your ears pop.
All right. I get Syl. I try to communicate to Syl to make her ears pop.
Let's see if that goes over well. Mike, does that go over well?
Roll me in check.
No.
I've got no fucking idea what you're trying to say.
Okay.
Well, she'll get back to you normal in a few hours.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, right?
I instruct Syl to breathe deeply out through her nose.
Just gonna hold my breath for a while.
I'm gonna keep trying. Out through nose.
Here it
By the
comes.
way, you guys are having this conversation on the road.
That's so fucking close.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's close enough that I stop holding my breath, but I don't know what you're saying.
Does she get a bonus at all because we keep trying to communicate the same idea to her?
I'll throw her a fucking bone.
Okay, so that one passes, right? To
Yes.
31. Okay.
Damn.
So as she's breathing out her nose, I'm gonna reach and pinch her nose shut.
There you go.
Yep.
So you're no longer half dead.
I can hear.
Yes.
I'm gonna immediately let go and run back to the bike.
Wait, how did he get in here?
That is an excellent sorcery-based question. I blame Magnus.
Oh,
need
Meanwhile,
to keep
in
going.
orbit, Magnus is going to slam his book down and be like, "What?"
oh no. Reddin's in
What
some
happened?
glory.
He went back to the bike.
Okay. Good.
Okay, no more shenanigans.
Forward!
Yeah, so you spend the next 12 hours on the road without any incident, and you make it to the cave.
This
Done
didn't
now.
really end well.
So what were you here for?
Figure out what the fuck's causing the energy signature.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Willpower me.
All
Say
of us?
again?
Oh no.
Willpower check me. It's time for a PTSD.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Help.
Oh,
Okay, you got the
Oh.
18. I got an 82. I'm going to spend my second fate of the day to reroll.
Is this a mundane horror or is this out of your ordinary?
Specifically Conrad.
oh.
Oh,
This is a place with a lot of history to Conrad.
oh, fuck me.
It's two fail.
Yeah, that's 2 failures.
So Conrad is slowly devolving into a gibbering wreck.
Did I realize where the fuck I am?
So,
Okay, time for Sill's motherly instincts to kick back in.
This is where Trank. Because I specifically brought Trank.
Just in
I think
case
Sill wants to
Conrad
do
started
something.
panicking.
Yes.
Sill is going to tuck Conrad in tightly.
And Conrad
Tight.
is now tranked.
Okay.
Are you gonna dose her
Laura.
enough to calm her down or knock her out?
Calm down. It's a half dose.
Is it a Medicaid check I smell?
Yes.
Okay, one moment.
Because you have to try to inject a fidgeting Conrad.
Because
Does the being wrapped up tightly
have
help?
my servo skull, that's a pass.
Gets tucked in tightly into a sleeping bag while injected by the trank.
That was a close pass.
I calm.
What is your end going to be?
Okay.
In this area, anyway. Man, I love corn dogs.
Giving Conrad PTSD.
So, Mike, would you like to explain through Conrad exactly what this place is?
So, Conrad had a failed attempt at romance, would you call it?
Uh-huh.
A failed attempt at romance with a member of the Mechanicus named Peppermint. When shit went down, she got separated from Conrad and died in these very caves.
But But the thing...
But what thing?
Oh, don't worry about that.
What thing are you talking about? What's going on?
You're wrapped up. You don't have time to think.
I have plenty of time to think. In fact, it's the only thing I can do because of the specific reason that I'm wrapped up.
Conrad,
Still,
are you going to argue with me?
maybe.
You want to get freed from your being wrapped up?
Yes.
Then you're not going to argue, right?
Of course not. Never do that. Never in my life.
Conrad. If you want to be freed, you're going to have to try better than that.
I'm having an existential crisis, okay?
Right, which is why you're wrapped up. Because I don't want you doing anything stupid. You're... Okay, I'm going to go explore the cave, and I'll come back when you're done, throwing a fit.
Right behind you.
Good.
To ask, if Conrad would try to go in there, what would her negatives be?
You'd have negative 20 to all of your checks, and a negative
If I-
40 to anything charisma based.
And if I'm not mistaken, we can't do anything with Vox. That's bad. That's really
I
bad.
think Laura's going to try and follow Sil, because...
No. Somebody has to stay and watch the cabin so she doesn't do anything stupid. Plus, you're the only one I think that could actually, calm her down. In case, she needs a little sleepy juice. I don't have that. Unless you want Redden to watch her, but then, Wait. Hold on. Fuck it, let's just free her.
Okay, you free
'Cause
Conrad.
Alright.
Now let's go find whatever was causing that thing.
Right.
That was Connor adventuring with you all?
Is she?
She, basically, tactically speaking, it's probably the best choice because Glory can defend herself with the two Skitari in there for any reason that she needs them. So it'd be best that the team has as much gun as they can. She's just not... Conrad just let you all, she's not going to be very useful.
The only thing you need to do is navigate.
I can attempt.
We can handle the fighting. You've just got to handle the flighting.
Okay.
That was a terrible one-liner.
But it made sense. That's all that mattered. Let's go.
Okay. So you descend into your caverns, and Conrad has a seemingly supernatural sense of this place.
Uh-huh.
Conrad, you've seen this place in your nightmares so many times, you know exactly which way to go.
Right.
You plod along the path you've walked a dozen times before, and end up in... Well, this isn't right.
Uh-huh.
What's supposed to be an empty, dilapidated mining cavern has been turned into what looks like some kind of makeshift tech base. There's a shitload of scrap and junked machinery lying around in various stages of disassembly. And that's what the power source is powering, this little workshop.
If there's anyone here, come out now. And there will be no aggressive behavior.
Nice one, Sil.
And a wrench gets dropped somewhere. You can hear it impact metal. And from a little scaffold about halfway up the mine wall, which looks like it's being erected in order to actually mine from said wall, a hood comes up with a couple mechadendrites brandishing ranged weaponry.
Uh-huh.
It's the obvious red of the Mechanicus, but it's faded to the point where it's almost pink.
Guessing you haven't seen people in quite some time.
You get a burst of binary, asking who you people are and what you're doing.
Is it that particular kind of binary that Conrad could recognize?
You're kind of like at this point melting.
Well, I tell you what, I'll do you one better.
Can I attempt to screech back in an obnoxious tone because I didn't understand any of that?
No, I think Conrad just composed herself.
Apparently.
I think Conrad apparently just got the good old string out and fucking tied all of her nerves up.
Or her noose.
I mean, don't worry. As soon as this is done and Conrad can go around the corner, I'm having her just vomit up everything that she's eaten. But until that point, Conrad is actually going to sit here, and because she's done this so many times before, she's actually going to list off her... Because if I remember correctly, don't things have numbers? Like, don't tech priests have numbers sometimes?
Yep.
Conrad is going to say that she is Conrad Novograd and then give out her, tech priest adept number.
So, make me a dodge check, Conrad.
My favorite.
Anything elicited some fire.
That is a pass.
It's out of the way of the couple semi-automatic shots. It's not like she was such a great shot anyway.
Was I that much of an asshole in college?
Kind of. Laura shoots at Conrad.
The mechadendrites kind of coil up. The tech priest actually stands to the point where you can see their entire lower body has been replaced with lumen capacitors.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
And she
Fuck is
comes
that?
down to you.
Yikes.
Getting closer, you can see that she's been replaced with 90% metal parts. She's more machine than woman at this point. There's actually only a little corner of her face that is not metal.
I think when Conrad sees her, she's going to say something along the lines of, if you weren't stuck here, I think you'd be a Magos at least. It's very impressive.
Right.
What am I looking at?
You are looking at a tech priest, Sil.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, she's crying.
Yeah,
like a lot.
Yeah.
She can do that? I thought she was a robot.
Sit.
Conrad's gonna sit here. She's gonna make the cog to herself and give some kind of prayer to the Omnisire for continued strength. And she's gonna go over and she's she on the ground level at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna go hug her.
Is that
see if I
affection
get
from
stabbed.
Conrad?
Shut the fuck up, Sil.
Okay, so I rolled literally one less than last time, so she's still gonna freak out.
Oh no.
Okay.
Laura's following Conrad.
Can I prepare the sleeping bag?
Just give her some time. It's a shock. It's a shock. Yeah.
Is the person who just not composed themselves?
Speaking of which, Conrad, as she's waiting for, Penny to put herself together, I think at this point we'll take this opportunity to go, just 1 second, by the way, and go around the nearest corner and just vomit.
You hear Loken go, oh, this is lovely.
Oh, you don't, I'm barely holding it together, man.
At this point,
I'm doing my best.
Logan will impart you some of the willpower of a space marine.
At this point, Laura's probably going to start trying to see if she can at least visually do a visual diagnostic on the state of Peppermint.
Oh, that's awful. I said
Check
Penny
for
earlier.
that. Yeah, so you did.
Fucking idiot.
Boom! 16.
It's pieced together just like the station in orbit.
Oh boy.
Hellion
All of the work
engineering.
You can tell she's done to herself. Some of it looks really rough.
Conrad.
Yeah.
Conrad, get back here, please.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm making sure that it's all out. Okay. All right. I'm going to get up and I'm going to come back.
Laura is going to explain just how shoddy the work possibly is, and Peppermint probably needs help right now.
I'm aware she survived for how many years here. We can give her a second to compose herself without forcing her to do anything.
Well, she managed to do it this time.
Excellent.
Huh. So I guess she was alive. I didn't have to go through time bullshit to...
We're not
You
bringing
know what?
any of that up.
No, not right now. She's gonna have to learn later.
We'll cross all those bridges when we get there. What's she doing?
She's literally at this point composed herself, and she's going about her workshop collecting things and shutting off machinery.
Laura is going to go and assist with that because that's probably a lot of work. And shoddy engineering, I don't want to have her putting too much workload onto herself right now.
Just gathering up her own personal items and shutting down the shop, so it's nothing too stressful.
Okay, good.
I'm going to try to be like, is there anything I can help you with at all?
No, I should be okay.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
hey, Captain.
Yes, Sil?
Now might be a good time to catch up before things get more stressful.
I don't think they could get more stressful, Sil.
Captain, man the fuck up. Go talk to your friend. Or I'm gonna put you in a fucking headlock.
All right, fucking fine. So,
Oh. So,
I'm very sorry. I'm trying not to go vomit again.
you can join the club.
Right. Right.
So, Captain, how about you introduce us all?
Fuck, I was gonna get to that on my own, thank you. I
Yeah,
was
well-
literally about to say it. I appreciate it. This is Sil. As you can tell, she's a bit of the, well, if I had a mother, she's basically the closest thing I got to one.
Am I older than you?
I'm pretty sure you are.
Huh. I guess I am.
This is Laura,
Hello.
Hi.
our local actual tech priest who didn't flunk. And then we have Redden, and I still wonder what he actually does around here sometimes.
He doesn't do much.
You know
He
exactly.
pays.
You know exactly
What
what
I
I do. You know exactly what I do, and we can't talk about that.
He does things you're gonna have to learn about later when you know.
Oh yeah, and he
You
also
don't-
he also has a tendency to get dragged off, and yeah, bad things happen to him.
Very often. It's
I'm
tragic.
having as much fun as you all, but I would very much like to leave this place.
Well, that's the
Excellent.
plan.
It would be a great time to do so. Yes.
I tried to eat
Do you want to be in a tank or a motorcycle?
I'd rather sit in a tank.
Excellent.
Glory, can we let another person who's not normal in the tank?
I will get to that in a minute. First, while you all are exiting, Peppermint goes, "Oh, right. You guys get it started up. I have one more thing I need to take care of."
That would be?
Go with her.
She turns around, walks around the lip of the cave, opens up a little panel, and hits a switch, like flips a breaker.
Uh-huh.
Turns around and bolts back toward the fucking tank.
Oh,
Yeah, because
When
it's going to blow.
she hops on, she goes, "Go, go, 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 go."
and gunning it.
So you guys make it a half a click out before the mountain detonates.
Huh.
Yep, I don't know why I expected anything less of you.
When I say the mountain detonates, I mean like an entire mountain is gone.
Yeah,
Why'd you do that?
lots of reasons.
Okay.
To be fair, while I probably found it quite fascinating, there probably would be people in the Mechanicus that would not be too happy if they ever saw that place, so I can understand it.
Yeah, but didn't we prove the Mechanicus are a bunch of nerds?
Yes.
Sure, we did.
Yes. But they are also highly religious nerds in many cases.
What's a religious?
So while they're all having that talk down there, does Penny have anything to say to Conrad?
Peppermint.
Ah, for fuck! Why do they have to have a character named Penny? It's too close. I don't like it.
Mint.
There we go, Mint. Thank you, Mason.
She's a little busy trying to get over the whole mental gymnastics of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of defaulted into an old habit of a little simple aspect she has that she pulls
Mhm.
apart and puts together repeatedly whenever she's super stressed. She's doing that now.
I'm going to mention that Conrad's probably going to say mostly to herself, but Peppermint may or may not hear it. I did it right that time. I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's firstly going to be like, I can't believe you still have that damn thing. And secondly, my team here restrained me and gave me a small dosage of trank a while ago to ensure that I would stop having a panic attack. Would you like to be offered the same courtesy?
That doesn't sound too bad, as she once again pulls apart the entire Auspex with her mechadendrites and puts it back together.
Laura!
So we're not wrapping her up.
Yes.
Can you please do us a favor and inject my dear friend here with some drugs?
Going to pull over the tank and do that because Laura's plugged into the Mind Impulse unit.
Right. Pit stop, drug up, back on the road.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, with you driving back to the pickup zone, I think this is where I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thoughts,
So-
comments, suggestions, did you have fun? What do you think of Conrad's homeworld so far?
It's
So was
really
right the whole
helpful.
time.
And before,
And
Conrad's gonna find a single scratch on the bike and strangle Redden.
I'll be honest with you. She told you not to damage her bike mostly as a joke.
She's gonna find a single scratch and strangle Redden.
Listen, that's old Conrad. And we're already far enough away from that timeline, damn it.
Anyway.
I haven't even killed Barnabast once.
And you got back.
Pretty sure original Conrad has done it at least 12 times by now.
Today alone.
I'm pretty sure we reached far enough in the new timeline that you've done the one thing that diverges you from old Conrad, which is,
Mhm.
find Penny. God damn it, I did it.
You see?
Find Mint.
And good old Peppermint.
Her name is Spearmint now. Fuck you.
Minty.
So you all enjoyed yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I apologize if it was a little too much. I had to get back in the swing of things. It's been a little while.
Should I go ahead and cut the stream, or?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
Should have been cut it.
Thank you everyone for listening. Yeah. And
Goodbye,
see you next time.
everybody.
Bye, people.